Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's matchup, and it's Arizona State Hockey YouTube, the first of the two-game series. It's the Sun Devils against the Broncos, visiting from Central Oklahoma, the second game of a three-game weekend series. I'm Niall Cooper, my partner Brett Vaughn. I'll welcome him in as we get you ready for puck drop, only a few minutes away. And Brett, let's look first at the away team, the visiting Broncos. They played yesterday against the University of Arizona, and they were up 2-0 actually at one point in that game. Looked like they might be able to steal one against a really good team, especially in the Western CHL, but just couldn't quite get the job done.
Yeah, bounces didn't go their way that night, and it's tough for any hockey team to try to have that stick-to-itiveness and be able to go through the hockey game and be able to fight through any little bounces they had. They had to kill a 5-on-3 for almost 3 minutes, and any time like that, it's going to be tough sledding.
Oh, it certainly is. And you go to talk about tough sledding. The state of Arizona has been a bit of tough sledding for the Broncos this season. Back earlier in the year, Arizona State, one of their first road trips of the season, went out to Central Oklahoma, one of the top teams in the Western CHL at the time, and got a massive victory. And the Broncos, I'm sure, will be looking to avenge that tonight.
Yeah, they had a 3-goal lead late in that third period against Arizona State at home. And talking with head coach Michael Rivera, he felt that their team went away from doing the little things of being able to stop hard on pucks and play good defensively, and instead tried to add their name to the score sheet and be able to get some goals. And instead, that allowed Arizona State to crawl back into that hockey game, and with a heartbreaking goal, ending up winning it with only a couple seconds left in regulation.
And you talk about trying to crawl back into the game. Arizona State, they tried to crawl back into the game last night against the visiting Oklahoma Sooners. Couldn't quite do it, and, you know, it wasn't their best game of the season.
Yeah, they were up against it throughout that whole game. It was very close, very tight. A few little costly mistakes ended up being magnified in such a close hockey game, and although they were in that game throughout the whole night, so I think it's something for them to shake off, be able to play tonight and come in, just forget about that game, just take what you learned and apply it for tonight.
Burn the tape kind of game, certainly. And the Sun Devils, we talked yesterday, there's a few things they're probably going to try to work on coming into tonight and maybe build upon yesterday, because yesterday was definitely a game where you want to, learn something from the effort if you're not going to get the 2 points. And I think tonight, one of those things we might see them at least trying to work on, in this two-game series against the Broncos, is going to be that power play unit.
Yeah, it's been tough with some injuries here or there with the lineup. Some normal guys that are on the power play unit that you'll be seeing tonight haven't been normally this season, so it's for them to be able to build some familiarity with each other, of being able to know where you are in the right spot, and from there go ahead and execute. And I think they were able to shake that off and get that newness out of the way last night, and hopefully they can take advantage of it.
Hopefully, I agree. And I think the chemistry will not be lacking on the ice, nor will it be lacking in the broadcast booth tonight. We're only a couple minutes away from the national anthem, starting lineups, and puck drop here at Oceanside Ice Arena. Don't go anywhere, folks. Hockey's right around the corner. Welcome in, folks, back to Oceanside Ice Arena. I am Niall Cooper, my partner's Brett Vaughn, and we have hockey just about to get underway. But first, it's time for the starting lineups brought to you by Justation. For the visiting Broncos on the back end, it's number 3, Henry Hoffman, number 27, Davin Burton. At forward, number 14, Austin Cunningham, number 17, Dominic Colbings, and number 19, Vitaly Mikhailov. And in net for the Broncos will be number 33, the workhorse Alex Henry, appearing in his 14th game thus far. For the hometown Sun Devils, on defense it'll be the captain Zachary Kowalchuk alongside his partner Ryan Lanfear. At forward, Drew Platt centering the line. And then on the wings we have number 28, Daniel Chambers, and number 16, Jet Larson. In net for the Sun Devils, a fellow workhorse, number 1, Bronson Moore. Starting lineups brought to you by Justation, connecting the dots between fashion and hockey. Sun Devils win that opening draw. Will attempt to get the puck in deep. Along the half wall, it's picked up by Platt. He'll look for the short angle shot, trying to lift it back over the goaltender. That one skies right over the top of the net. The Sun Devils back on the forecheck as they pick it off at the blue line. Lanfear trying to dig it out of his feet. Kowalchuk forward, and they'll dump it right back in. The Sun Devils wasting no time getting in to the Broncos' end of the ice. Larson picks that one off of the blue line, trying to keep it in. It just squirts out of the zone, and the Broncos on it. They'll push it ahead. Hosworth now, and he'll push it straight back up the ice. A quick line change for the Sun Devils.
It'll be important for Arizona State tonight to try and be able to capture their momentum throughout the whole hockey game.
Lackey on the ice. Nice weaving play into the middle, and that shot just goes over the top of the net. Henry might have got a piece of the puck. Broncos just trying to alleviate some pressure, but they'll turn it over in the neutral zone. Back on it now is Plurd. The left-handed forward. He'll just backhand one short side, and that'll be covered by Henry just over a minute into the first period.
I like the start so far for Arizona State. They had a good one last night against Oklahoma, but there needs to be contributions from all 4 lines when they're rolling, of being able to carry the momentum throughout the hockey team and be able to assert their style of play that they want to do.
The assistant captain, Niall Mills, will try to win it for the Broncos. He cannot. Lackey looking for the shot. Gets poked away from him, and the Broncos will send it all the way down the ice. Miller struggling to keep his feet along the half wall, and he'll turn over at the blue line. And that puck just jumping over the stick of Mills as he had his eyes set on a shot. Sun Devils will ice that puck. And Brad, I have to say, it's very nice to see a fellow Niall out here on the ice.
Yeah, it definitely is. Both of you guys are big into bodies of waters, especially rivers, and it's good to see another guy out here.
Mills, one of the leading scorers for the Broncos, 6 goals, 5 assists on the season. I'm sure he'll look to add some tonight. The Sun Devils will try to nullify that, and we'll start by getting this puck down the ice. Icing will be waved off. Coming way out of his net to play it is Henry. He'll reverse it, turn over to Lackey. Lackey trying to fire one in front, and it just rolls off the edge of his stick. Miller, the puck jumps over his stick. Coming in to help out is Michael Slavic. Slavic will throw one off the glass, and that'll go all the way down, and it looks to be an icing. Brett, you have to like the jump that the Sun Devils have early in this first period, something that was missing from their game last night.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a little bit more. They're being a little more direct with the puck, and that's just going to allow them to really massage the defense for Central Oklahoma and be able to create the chances they eventually want.
Trying to get a deflection on that was Dale McCabe. The short angle shot saved by Bronson Moore, and that'll be sent down the ice. No icing. It won't go farther enough, and the Sun Devils can get a partial change. Broncos back the other way. McCabe will chip it in. It goes right on to Bronson Moore, and he'll cover it for a stoppage. A little bit of a brouhaha right in front of Bronson Moore. As getting into it for the Broncos was, and I have to apologize for any of the viewers from Central Oklahoma. I'm sure I'll butcher this. Ty Aramuspe, the El Paso native. Husted wins it. McLaughlin backhands one up to Hoffenkamp on the half wall. He'll backhand it further ahead, and Husted will button hook and skate it out. Over to Hoffenkamp. Hoffenkamp across the blue line, stops up, looks to the point, And that pass gets knocked down by the Broncos. They turn it over. Sun Devils back on it, firing in front of the net is Hoffenkamp, following up his rebound, trying to kick it to his skate. They're digging away at it, and that's off the post! Husted almost getting the first goal for the Sun Devils. As it's all Arizona State right now. McLaughlin will chip that breakout pass up into the stands, and Brett, we nearly got a nice opening goal early in this first period.
Sun Devils again carrying their momentum that they started at this first period, and they were able to go ahead and throw a few bodies towards the net. It was initially Hoffenkamp fighting his way to protect the puck and go right to the middle of the crease, and that rebound opportunity for Houston just went off the pipe.
Broncos will give it right back to Arizona State once again. A hand pass in progress. The Sun Devils will be the first to touch it, though, and will nullify that hand pass. Sullivan was trying to dig it out. Bronson Moore back behind his own net. Now we'll just play it. Captain Kowalchuk loses out on a stick battle. And it's the Broncos who now get the puck in the offensive end. On it right now. Colbeans back up to the point on his backhand, sorting it out. Will throw one to the front of the net. Was Davin Burton, and Bronson Moore with an easy save.
Central Oklahoma has to have a little bad taste in their mouth for a couple of reasons. One, giving up that late 3-goal lead against Arizona State in their home barn, and the second one being that they are coming into the game tonight on a losing run.
Bronson Moore will kick out his right pad and save that. Behind the net now, the Broncos get it back. Colbeans will cycle it along the half wall, back up to the point. Burton on it. He'll skate it just outside of the blue line. The Sun Devils giving chase. Chambers on him. Jet Larson also there. But the Broncos a good job to sort it out. Back across the blue line. Colbeans to the wing. Back in front to Colbeans, but he has his stick tangled up by Platt. A good defensive play by the Sun Devil forward. Chambers whiffs on the clearing attempt. Second chance, he'll get it up. Platt on it once again. He takes a hard check, but will feed it up to Larson. Fresh off the bench, however, is Niall Mills, and he'll feed it ahead. On it now, 19 Mikhailov behind the net. Mikhailov, the leading goal scorer for the Broncos. As Kowalchuk was giving a hard chase, and will turn the puck over. And will dump it into the neutral zone. Broncos right back on it. Jet Larson was trying to come back on defense, and stick got a little bit too parallel right in front of the referee, and that will be a hooking call.
Yeah, that's going to be called every time. It's going to be Jet Larson. I like his aggressiveness on the back check of being able to strip the puck carrier, but it was just a little too much, and he ends up getting called for hooking.
And Brett, the special teams yesterday were hit or miss for the Sun Devils, but they were certainly hitting on the penalty kill.
Yeah, they definitely were. It seems that they've been able to really have a good system for the past probably couple of years, and it hasn't been any trouble this season.
Sun Devils win the draw. Husted gets the puck, and he'll skate it ahead. Husted trying to make a move on the defenseman. The puck just squirting off the edge of his stick. Hoffenkamp applying the pressure. He'll flush out the defenseman. The Broncos will skate it out. East to west. And that pass connects. It's Mills on it. Mills behind the net. Looking. Will send it back up to the point. Mills up high on the blue line. Short side into the middle. The Broncos trying to string a few passes together. Mills wasn't ready for it. Hull at the point. Will skate to the middle of the ice. Sends it back to Mills. A little behind him. He has to settle it down. Mills looks for the shot in front. It's deflected just wide of the net. Broncos back on it once more. McCabe. Up to Hull. Hull drops it over to McCabe. McCabe will skate it in. Looks for the shot. Delays passes. Mills on it now. He'll try to fire one short angle. That gets deflected over the net, but kept in by the Broncos. Hull on it once more. A minute into the power play. Into the slot. A wide open shot. Blocked in front of the net. Trying to find it, and the Broncos shot is blocked, and into the corner it goes. Mills on it again. Dropping over to 15, Joel. Mills to Hull. Hull the shot. Rebound, and they score! The Central Oklahoma Broncos draw first blood, and it's 1-0.
Broncos have been doing a great job on that first opportunity of winning the draw, and they were just able to control the puck, snapping it around quickly in the offensive zone. And they had number 18, Adam Stalzer, set up right in front of the goaltender Moore for virtually the whole power play opportunity of being able to get in his grill, and from there that ended up producing a rebound that the Broncos ended up putting away to have a 1-0 lead.
Sun Devils will have to battle back now as they had a good start to the game, but ultimately are the first ones to fall on the score sheet.
Unfortunate with that penalty is that really halted the momentum now for Arizona State, giving up that goal when they had a really good first 5 minutes.
Winning that draw back to point. Kowalchuk fires one just wide of the net. Henry stretched out for it, but the puck just went whistling wide. A 2-on-2 the other way. The Broncos stopping up and delaying was Mikhailov. On the half wall, Mikhailov taking a stick check from Studioso, gets it to the point. They go high to low with it. Studioso the first one on the puck there, and we'll get it across the blue line. Plurd feeds it ahead to Lackey. Lackey in a one-on-one with speed. Lackey on his forehand. He shoots, and what a save by Henry. Knocked down by Kowalchuk. He keeps it at the blue line. No high touch on the play. Kowalchuk takes a hard check. The Broncos will strip the puck from him and send it down the ice. Bronson Moore, forced to come out of his net, will play the puck. And he feeds it up to Studioso. Studioso gets it back. And the Sun Devils will skate the other way, just over the edge of his stick, and forced to chip it in as Plurd. Lackey, a good job on the forecheck, will create a turnover, get the puck. He'll throw it behind the net. Working hard in his Demon with some help from Studioso. Studioso still trying to win the stick battle. And he'll ultimately opt to go for a change. Demon still on it, applying some hard pressure in the Broncos' end. And we will have a penalty called on the play.
Great effort shown by Alexander Demon, who had a great game last night. He ends up using his hard work against the Broncos and was able to cause a penalty on the Broncos' end of things. And Arizona State's going to be able to try and tie the hockey game on their first man advantage opportunity.
Disputing the call there is number 44, Cooper Kraus. None too happy as he'll sit for 2 minutes. Husted will look to win the draw here for the Sun Devils in the offensive end. He'll get it to the winger, trying to push it back up to the point. Husted the first one on it. He'll send it diagonally across the ice. The Broncos will be able to skate it out, but only as far as center. And they will now dump it all the way in. Bronson Moore will glove that one down with a defensive zone draw coming for the Sun Devils.
Hopefully the Sun Devils can possibly take a page out of the Broncos' book of being able to try and work that puck and snap it around in that offensive zone once they can get set up.
McCabe against Husted in the corner now. Husted will dig it out. He has Hosworth behind him. Husted taking a hard ride, though. Finally does get it back to Hosworth. Hosworth looking for the good breakout, finds Chambers. Moves it over to Husted. Husted across the blue line, they're on sides. He button hooks at the point, gets some help from Hosworth, but they run into each other and the Broncos are able to clear it.
Little miscommunication entering the own zone. Also some frustration shown as Arizona State changes up their power play unit.
Hosworth again will back behind his own net. Try to get the good breakout. Applying pressure, Stalzer for the Broncos. Sun Devils do get that good breakout. Plurd now will throw it across the ice to Havner. Havner down low. He wants Plurd. Plurd not able to get to the puck first on the second effort. He will get it. Sauces it Studioso. Studioso down low. Couldn't find the stick of a Sun Devil. The Broncos first one's on it, and they'll send it all the way down. .30 seconds left on the power play. 11:28 remaining in the first period as the Broncos hold a 1-0 lead. Kowalchuk sends it over to Lackey. Lackey skates back into his own end. And he'll skate it out now. Lackey, right up the middle, sizing up his options, cuts to the right. makes the pass. Studioso trying to fire one as Kowalchuk was making a move to the front of the net. Didn't get through. Lackey keeps it in. Studioso on the half wall trying to feed it through the seam as Havner was stepping up into the play, but the Broncos come the other way. Maybe a 3-on-1 developing here. The Broncos, the shot, Moore with a save. It's off his back, and the referee signals no goal as the puck crosses the line. However, the net was off of the moorings. The Broncos dispute at a fever pitch right now as they are adamant that that puck went in the net. However, Brett, it looked like the Sun Devils inadvertently knocked the net off just before the puck crossed the line.
Yeah, I mean, the referee had a good view of it down in the corner, and it was almost a dangerous opportunity as Studioso was trying to fit a pass through the middle of the ice in the offensive zone, ended up being picked off, and it was a 2-on-1 to start, but then not to throw it in as well. The man who committed the penalty for the Broncos ended up hopping out, and it turned into a 3-on-1 at one point as they're entering in the offensive zone, and Sun Devils fortunate to not get a goal conceded.
We talked a little bit about it yesterday. The Sun Devils didn't get a lot of the bounces that they wanted or needed in yesterday's game. We'll see if this goes forward tonight as a bounce that went in their favor that helped turn their fortunes around. That faceoff will be sent all the way down to the Broncos' end. We're at 5-on-5 hockey right now. Plurd applying the forechecking pressure, and he'll force a turnover. Sullivan throws it in the corner. Sullivan and Plurd still on it. The Broncos will get it all the way ahead. A great seam pass on his short side, looking for the shot, and Moore gets his glove on it. Not able to get all of it, but he stops the puck. Sullivan back the other way, a 3-on-2. The Sun Devils trying to get him on the break. And that pass in front of the net went straight to Henry. A bit more of a brouhaha, Brett, as the Broncos certainly not afraid to stir things up in front of the net.
Yeah, that's one of the things head coach Jake Green told us before today's game, that UCO likes to play after the whistles a little bit, of being able to try and get into their opponent's mind and be able to take them off their game a little bit.
And we know the Sun Devils, a young group, so it's certainly good to have a veteran like Austin Palumbo back in the lineup tonight. Miller on the puck for the Sun Devils. He'll give it to the Broncos, and they come in on the offensive end. A nice pass in all alone, and Bronson Moore with a massive stop on Matt Davies. That point shot will go wide of the net. The Broncos pick it up again. Davies back to the point. The wrist shot wide of the net, hoping for a tip, was 24. But it's Demon the other way for the Sun Devils. Demon cuts into the middle of the ice, looking for the shot, and Henry with the save as Palumbo was in the blue paint trying to dig out the rebound. The Broncos get another big save from their goaltender.
Demon playing with a lot of confidence tonight as he was able to catch one of the Broncos defensemen cheating a little bit in the offensive zone. That allowed him to go on an odd man rush and had almost a great opportunity to tie up the hockey game.
9:50 remaining in the first period, just past the halfway point. So the Broncos maintain that 1-0 lead. Across the blue line. Behind the defense, and Bronson Moore forced to make another big save, as this time it was Zach Lawson who managed to get in behind the defense. And Brett, the Broncos, they have size and they have speed, and right now that speed is giving the Sun Devils some fits.
Yeah, they also have a little bit of skill as well, as that was the third time I'm counting on one of my hands that this period they've been able to fit the pass through the defenseman's legs of being able to try and hit their line mate.
Hoffenkamp on the puck will feed it ahead. Husted gets it across the blue line. That clearing attempt goes off the linesman and into the bench of the Broncos.
It's going to be important for Arizona State to also slow down that speed that Central Oklahoma possesses, of being able to watch their turnovers, especially on both blue lines, and not be susceptible to an odd man rush.
Husted on Burton, gets some help from Hoffenkamp. That puck will be thrown all the way down the ice by the Broncos. Not quite far enough for an icing. Hosworth, the first one on it. He has a couple Broncos on him, and they force a turnover. Hull gets it to Mills. Mills in the corner against Husted. Husted will just backhand one around his own end. In front of the net, it was Hull, as a good heads-up pass from Stalzer nearly found his forward right in the middle of the ice all alone. Hull on it once again. He has Stalzer with him. Hull cuts into the middle of the ice. Delays the shot just wide as he wanted a deflection in front. The Broncos keep it alive at the point. Skating in is Hoffman. Hoffman throws it in front of the net. Nobody there. And it's Hoffenkamp the other way for the Sun Devils. Hoffenkamp, a nifty move. He'll get in the offensive zone. The Sun Devils change behind the play. Hoffenkamp wanted Platt. That pass just a little behind him. And Hull skates it back the other way in front of the net. A 2-on-1, if not for a great defensive play by Kenneth Miller for the Sun Devils. Coast-to-coast action right now as Platt threw in front of the net. He had Shaw. Shaw slices it back to him. Platt a hard check on the boards. And the Broncos get the puck back. Skating it ahead is Joel. Joel one-on-one with Miller. Loses the puck, gets it back. Dishes it to the D partner. Trying to throw it into the open space on the ice as McCabe made a move to the front of the net. A 2-on-1 again in front of the net. And Bronson Moore with another short angle save as the Broncos really pushing for that second goal.
Right now, this end-to-end action has been favoring Central Oklahoma. They are very active, especially their defensemen of being able to jump into the rush. And it's going to be important for Arizona State's wingers to have their heads swiveling around of being able to cover their man in zone.
McCabe wins the draw at the point. That shot, a bit of a knuckle puck, and Bronson Moore will glove it down. Simon Hobbs, the native of England, getting that shot off. A little bit of an international flair to this Broncos roster. Broncos win it back again. On the half wall, it's Joel, back to the point. Blocked in front of that by Kowalchuk. Lanfear on it, will skate it behind his net. Lanfear with a chance to get that breakout pass, but it just hops over the stick of Shaw. Broncos back, one-on-one, looking for a quick little delayed wrist shot was Joel, but playing it extremely well was the captain, Kowalchuk. Chambers backhands one forward. Lanfear can't get his stick on it. Shaw in the second effort will create a turnover, and he has the puck in the offensive zone. The power forward, Shaw delays in the corner, trying to get it to the point. It's in his feet right now. He'll get a little help from Platt, who digs it out. Couldn't get the shot off. Joel will backhand one all the way out of his zone. And Kowalchuk just chips it back in the other end as both teams go for a change.
Arizona State that last shift, I think, have been able to wear down Central Oklahoma a little bit.
Guffey rims one all the way deep. Cunningham the first on it. He loses the puck with some help. It's picked up by Mikhailov. Studioso can't clear it. Mikhailov once again trying to make a power move to the front of the net. The puck squirts off his stick. At the point, the captain keeps it in. We'll send it down low where once again it's Cunningham's on it. Dropping it from Mikhailov, but it's picked up by McLaughlin. Off the glass. Lackey can't find it. On a delayed offsides, the Broncos will just dump it back in with 6:22 left on the clock. This first period flying by. Hosworth's breakout pass, can't connect with Studioso. Studioso and Lackey create a turnover and get it head to Plurd. He'll wrist one just wide of the net, as Henry had a hard time tracking that puck. Plurd again, he'll just try to backhand one in front of the net. Lackey knocks down a clearing attempt. Studioso, a good stick lift, and he'll get the puck behind the goal line. Some hard pressure applied on him by Durbanyuk. Studioso will win the battle. Tries to throw it all the way up to the point. McLaughlin will keep it in. Lackey in front of the net as the puck's loose. He'll fire one, but the puck was rolling, and that shot just goes a little high and into the netting.
That was Arizona State's third time being able to operate in the offensive zone off of the forecheck. And I think it's going to be a little more advantageous for them to be able to have an outlet once they win that initial battle off of the wall on the boards, of being able to find a guy somewhere in the high slot instead of just throwing the puck to the middle and hoping for the best, making it an easy breakout for the Broncos.
Off that draw, a quick shot by Palumbo, and Henry with one of his better saves in the second half of this first period. Sun Devils on it again, throw it in front of the net, and that's blocked away. Broncos pick it up. A nice breakout pass, and skating in now is McMahon. McMahon on it. He'll fire one short side. Bronson Moore waffle pads that one away. Miller will try to throw it up to his forward, Palumbo. Palumbo backhands it. Second, third whack away at it, but the Broncos keep it in. Miller will send it behind his own net to his partner, Slavic. Slavic gets it ahead to Demon, will take the hit. Demon plays it ahead off a couple sticks. And Hoffman will play it ahead for the Broncos. That pass won't connect, and we finally have a stoppage in the play. Brett, it's been a frenetic pace, to say the least, of this first period.
Yeah, it definitely has. Both teams don't have too much time on the puck. Once they get it, they really have to get rid of it right away. UCO has been doing a good job on the forecheck, really aggressive with sending two forwards to the puck carrier and trying to halt that speed of Arizona State.
Columbo loses it. That shot takes a funny deflection in front of the net, and Bronson Moore had to be ready for it. As Graydon Holt, the Victoria, BC native, fired one. And that allowed the Sun Devils to get a change. Husted will line up opposite of Mills. Husted wins it. McLaughlin throws one off the glass. Straight to Hoffenkamp. He'll glove it down. Chipped in by Havner. Hoffenkamp's the first one to it. Backhands it to Havner. Havner tried to make a fancy play and just deflect the puck back in front of the net, but missed out. And the Broncos, in their clearing attempt, will see it go up into the netting off the stick of Jared Guffey. Husted and Mills 2.0. Husted wins it again. McLaughlin tries to wrist one from the point, but it's blocked by the Broncos. Havner on the half wall trying to keep it alive. He takes a hard check. Husted on the puck now, looks for the shot, doesn't go. Still on it, Husted deking in between three Broncos, will cycle it down low. Havner across the ice, he saw Hosworth activating just a little in front of him. Havner, the first one on the puck once again. He'll backhand one, short side, looking for Husted, not there. Havner once again will just send it down low. Henry opts to cover it as the Sun Devils finally getting a little pressure, and behind the play, Husted getting into a bit of a stick battle now. Looks like we'll have some coincidental minors assessed, as Hoffenkamp also getting familiar with Niall Mills down low.
It rears its ugly head again. Both teams trying to get in little fisticuffs with each other after that whistle, and it's going to end up being 4-on-4 for the first time in this hockey game as both players head to the box.
Husted certainly biting off a little more than he could chew in that encounter as he was going up against big number 11, Chris Hilly, the Hampton, Virginia native. He clocks in at 6'4", 230. And now we'll see a little bit of 4-on-4 action. Platt and Larson are the forwards for the Sun Devils, but it's the Broncos. The first one's on the offensive. Back in the other end, it's McCabe. Back up to the point that hops over the stick. Larson trying to get on it. But it's the captain, Durbanyuk, who just was able to move the puck. Otherwise, Larson was in all alone on a breakaway. McCabe sorting that puck out. They try to get across the blue line, and that'll be a hand pass. And we'll see a neutral zone faceoff.
Arizona State doing a nice job on that 4-on-4, being able to plug up their blue line of theirs and not allow UCO to come in with speed, and that leads to the offsides.
And pardon me, that'll end up being an offensive zone draw for the Sun Devils. Plurd establishes position, and he'll win the draw. Back to Hosworth. He fires one just a little high over the net. That was a headhunter. Studioso gets the rebound at the point. Switches with Hosworth. Hosworth tried to get it back to Studioso. It deflects to the far wall. Studioso hustles, and he'll be the first one to it. Once again, tries to find Hosworth. He does in front of the net as he caught between two minds of shooting and passing the puck and sent it straight to the feet of a Broncos player. 2:45 left in the first period. A little over 50 seconds of 4-on-4. Skating it the other way now. Zira Muspe across the blue line. The Broncos just onside. Studioso, a hard check behind the boards. Plurd trying to help him out. And Plurd will get the first one onto the puck now. He has Lackey coming up late. Plurd will throw in front to Lackey. Lackey alone, and what a save by Henry. It's off his back, but the referee blows the whistle. A slashing call going to be assessed here, as we almost had another shot off the glass and banking off of the goaltender. But before any of that could ensue, the referee calls a penalty on the Broncos. And that will give us 29 seconds of the dreaded and infrequently seen 4-on-3 for the Sun Devils.
Elliot Plurd was rewarded with his hard work in the defensive zone. He was able to pick off the pass at the blue line, and from there he used his great hockey sense of entering that offensive zone blue line and just delaying and throwing up an aerial pass to Clayton Lackey for that great opportunity.
Plurd in the circle, he'll win it. Gets his own face-off victory and will rim it around. He wanted Lackey, but the first one to the puck was Durbinu. That squirts past Kowalchuk. Mills on it. Mills behind the net. Still on his backhand. Mills will just skate it back into his own end and kill some clock. Lackey giving chase. Mills finally will just dump the puck all the way down the ice. As we are now 5-on-4 power play action here for the Sun Devils. Plurd across the blue line. Dishes it to Havner. Havner to Lane will throw in across as Husted, fresh off the bench, gets the puck. Husted up to Lackey at the point. Down low to Havner in front of the net, looking for the tip. And he almost got it as Plurd got that stick out. The puck just a little off the edge of his stick, and Henry was able to cover that one up nice and easy.
UCO almost had their little too much aggression shown on that penalty kill as they were sending a few men up towards that blue line to hopefully pick off that pass, and it ended up almost costing them as Studioso was able to one-touch that into the front of the crease of the goaltender Henry, but no Sun Devil stick was there.
Broncos get the puck off the draw. Skated across center. Will delay and finally fire it in. Osworth playing center fielder will collect it and go behind his own net and look for the breakout. Husted and Chambers come back to help him out. Chambers dishes it now across to Husted. Husted across the blue line. They're in on sides. Wanted Platt down low. That pass broken up and sent all the way back down. Moore comes way out of his net to play the puck. And Moore, a gutsy move right in front of his own net. Ends up paying off for him. Sun Devils across the blue line, but that's offsides. And Brett, you could hear the audible sigh from the entire capacity crowd here at Oceanside Ice Arena as Bronson Moore really making an aggressive play on that puck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it ended up reading on the seismic reader for the USGS with all the people yelling and scolding Bronson Moore when he was able to make that behind the back pass in front of his crease. Something you don't see too often.
45 seconds left in the first period, 24 seconds on the power play. Sun Devils will try to push late in the first here for an equalizer. Studioso wanted a shot that gets deflected up into the net. An offensive zone draw coming for the Sun Devils.
About 16 seconds left on the man advantage. If they can win this draw, it's going to be really crucial for them to do so.
Studioso on a strong side. He gets the win. Back to the point. Kowalchuk, he'll fire a wrister. That's blocked. Kowalchuk on it again. Down low, the touch pass in front. Wouldn't go. Studioso has to get the rebound. 25 seconds on the clock. Looking in front for Plurd. Didn't find him. Landfair now. Throw it to Kowalchuk on the half wall. The captain goes down low. Studioso. And he scores! Brendan Studioso! And it's 1-1.
Studioso did a great job of making something out of nothing. He was behind the net of the goaltender Henry. He was able to get the puck and all in one motion be able to scoop it up on his forehand and fit it in short side on the goaltender Henry, being able to use his body as that buffer between the defender and the puck, and he was able to put that one away, and the Sun Devils have been able to tie this one up.
A massive, massive goal for the Arizona State Sun Devils to equalize this game very late on in the first period. Broncos will bring it back in on offense with under 10 on the clock, trying to get a quick shot off, but Sullivan breaks it up. Demon coming back the other way. Can they get a puck to the front of the net before the end of the period? They cannot. And that'll be the end of the first period here at Oceanside Ice Arena. The score 1-1 between the Broncos and the Sun Devils. A very, very fun period, an entertaining one. As we'll turn it here into the broadcast booth, and working the camera tonight, Alex Searing, forward turned defenseman turned cameraman. And Alex, let's just go over the first period a little bit with you. That was some pretty exciting action.
Yeah, it was great. A big goal by Stewie there at the end of the period. That's going to lead on into the second period with 30 seconds left, giving up a goal for UCO. That hurts for them. The game looks good. The boys look great. They look like they're doing a great job moving the puck and doing the things they need to do to be successful.
Did you think we were going to see as much speed between these two teams tonight? Because we knew there was going to be a rebound for the Sun Devils after the effort last night, right?
Yeah. I knew the boys were pretty upset about the loss last night. But coming out tonight, I think they had a little bit of fire under them, and we're looking to get 2 wins this weekend. And I thought the speed was much better tonight, or right now, and we look good. I think we look really good right now.
And I think we all know that we're certainly missing your great breakout passes on the back end tonight.
Yeah.
But it looks like the Sun Devils really are missing a beat. Do you think it's been the breakouts that have been the biggest difference makers so far?
Yeah. I think our D are starting to understand what we're trying to preach and what the coaches are trying to preach. And I think our younger guys that are just now evolving into college hockey, they're starting to understand. And it's a good time of the year to start understanding what our goal is, and our breakout passing and our defense right now has been terrific. So has our forwards. We're in a little bump right now, but we've been hot. We've been very good lately, and it's a good time of the year to be that way. You always want to be hot, but there's times during the year where things don't always go your way, and you got to battle through it. And I think that we do a great job with adversity and coming back the next night and competing with a little bit of fire under us. So I think we look really good right now.
I'd certainly agree. And if you can give us a great prediction going into the second period. We've had some great predictions throughout the year here. What do you think we're going to see in the next 20 minutes?
Hopefully a couple goals for our team, but I think the game's going to stay close. They're two top teams in the country, top 20. So if you're in the top 20 in the league, you're always going to see a good game, and you're always going to see guys competing. And I think the next period it's going to be great. I think there's going to be a little bit of UCO is going to come out a little bit aggressive, I feel like, after that goal. But I think our team as well is going to come out pretty hard too. So.
All right, folks, look for the compete and look for some goals. You heard it here first, courtesy of number 24, Alex Searing. We'll be back in just about 10 minutes for the second period here at Oceanside Ice Arena.
Thank you.
Welcome back, folks, for the second period of action here at Oceanside Ice Arena. It's a tied hockey game right now, 1-1, courtesy of a late first period goal by Brendan Studioso. Kowalchuk will send that puck down the ice, picked up by Davin Burton. Burton sends it ahead, another reverse. Ice a little bit choppy right now. Studioso, he'll backhand one, avoid the hit. Lackey, assessing, he delays. Sends it down low, picked up now by Studioso. To Plurd, they go low to high. Kowalchuk wrist one's that deflects just across the front of the goal mouth. Nobody there for the Sun Devils. UCO will clear that one down the ice. And some early pressure here by the Sun Devils, Brett. Trying to catch him in a late change. As Husted was fresh off the ice, he couldn't get his pass across the middle. Osworth activates from the point, picks the puck up, backhands it behind the net. Mills will delay, tries to feed it to Hoffman. Hoffman will backhand one, but he can't get it out. The native of Germany taking a hard ride down low, and we'll have a penalty here on somebody. Looks like it's going to be a hold, not sure on who.
Yeah, I think Andrew Husted was able to get the defenseman for UCO on a holding call, and it was just great work by him. Or actually a few players, in fact, as Elliot Plurd was covering for Hosworth that he was deep down in the offensive zone, and he was able to pinch, keep that puck in the offensive zone, and keep the pressure going against UCO, and that allowed Husted to outwork his man in the corner, and that'll result into a penalty.
Sun Devils just trailing in the shot column right now, 16-14. But we'll look to get ahead in the scoring column here on the power play. Operating in the umbrella, it's Platt up to Hosworth. Hosworth gets it through a stick check. Sliding the puck around on the back door. It was Chambers who was wide open, but that pass a little too hot to handle. Chambers with some hard work, though. He'll keep the play alive. Gets it to Shaw. Shaw tries to feed Platt off the glass. Platt gets it. And he'll move it up to Hosworth. Husted trying to kick it ahead to himself. Ultimately, we'll get the puck down low, and he gets it back to Hosworth. Hosworth, a quick shot. That one blocked. Back over to Husted. He rips one just wide of the net. A one-timer seemingly out of nowhere, and the Sun Devils nearly connect to take a 2-1 lead. Broncos shorthanded, though, back the other way on a 2-on-1. It's Mills, slides one across the shot in front of the net. Moore makes the save as Hosworth was the only one back defensively. Looking for the cherry picker. It's Shaw fresh off the bench, but he couldn't match up with the speed of the puck, and that's delayed offsides. The other way, it's a 2-on-0 for the Broncos. In all alone, and the puck just goes off the edge of his stick. I can't believe it. What a break for the Sun Devils, as a poor change resulted in Ira Muspe all alone in front of the net. The captain, Kowalchuk, back the other way. Feeds it in front of the net, looking for the trailer as Studioso is coming in a little bit late. The pass didn't get there, and the Broncos bring it back the other way. McCabe on the puck, loses it to Lackey. They embrace, and the Sun Devils get it back the other direction. Studioso to Kowalchuk. He gains the red. They turn it over at the blue line, however, until a little work from Havner gets it back. Havner, once again, gets it. Slides it across to Lackey. Lackey, a nice little spinorama, and he'll get it into the offensive zone. Lackey backhands one behind the net. Havner in front, and they score! Tic-tac-toe, and Elliot Plurd makes it 2-1 Arizona State.
Man, a crazy flurry of chances for both teams on Arizona State's power play, but ended up being Elliot Plurd who ends up putting that one home. As he was able to read the play developing, Arizona State was able to pick off the puck behind the net of the goaltender, Henry, and it was able to be just centered out for a one-timer opportunity, and it ended up being an Arizona State goal.
Sun Devils with a big lead early in the second period. And now they'll have to work to maintain that lead as the Broncos come back the other way. That shot deflects and goes just wide of the net. Palumbo backhands one forward. Demon on the puck now against Berman. Demon tried to lay to hit. Burton ends up sending the puck around his own end. Hoffman can't quite get his stick on the puck. Ultimately, Palumbo's the one who backhands it in the corner. Palumbo gets past Hoffman, throws him down, throws it in front of the net. Henry has to poke away at the puck. A good play by Austin Palumbo on the forecheck. Burton throws one all the way up the ice. He gets his man. Coming in behind the defense, he delays, backhands one across, and unable to dig out that puck in front of the net was number 27, Burton. Sun Devils back the other way. Henry makes a nice save. The rebound will kick out. The Sun Devils trying to avoid a too many men penalty behind the play, and that'll go for an offsides.
I don't think folks at home, as well as us in the press box, can forget the fact that Aramuspe ended up somehow getting on a 2-on-0 opportunity for the Broncos. And I understand maybe not scoring, but they didn't even get a shot. I just couldn't believe it, especially at this level of hockey. Aramuspe, I don't know what he was trying to do. I think he was caught in between two minds if he was trying to pass or shoot. Ended up doing neither and loses control of the puck, and somehow was a crisis averted for Arizona State.
A great break for the Sun Devils. You know, yesterday, Brett, they had that breakaway with Studiosa with a chance to get back in the game, and his shot, the puck just rolled up on edge a little bit, and he completely airmailed it over the net. That was a bad break that just didn't allow them to get back into the game against the Sooners, but what a break here tonight. A good break leads to a 2-on-1. It's Larson off the pipe. Jet Larson. That shot takes a funny bounce in front of the net, but nobody there to collect it as the Sun Devils got close to making it a 3-1 game. Platt defensively will backhand it, try to get it across his own blue line and out. Chambers between his own legs will just clear the zone. Bronson Moore will let that one go all the way around. Chambers trying to get it out of his own zone. He loses the puck, falls down the other way. The Broncos coming way out to challenge was Moore. Another save in front of the net, and Moore's got it wrapped up as he is well outside the blue paint on that save.
Jed Larson a little bit unlucky on that 2-on-1, ended up bringing one off the post. But you're starting to see Arizona State being able to break down the forecheck of Central Oklahoma, and that's allowing them to have these odd man rushes and really great scoring chances off the rush. Central Oklahoma might have to rein it in a little bit more of when they're going to pick their spots and be aggressive in the offensive zone on the forecheck.
Husted against Mills. Husted wins it. Hall comes in to help out, but the Sun Devils are able to clear. Hoffenkamp, a little trouble across the blue line as it was Cooper Kraus laying a good stick check. Mills gets it up to his winger, Hull. Hull digs it out of his feet, but turns it over to Hoffenkamp at his own blue line. Coming back the other way, it's Husted. He sides up a shot, and Henry takes that one right in the chest and will cover for a stoppage as we're almost 6 minutes into the second period.
Good read by Hoffenkamp of once Arizona State lost possession, he ended up protruding his way back into the neutral zone, but he didn't go all the way back, and he read that UCO was trying to go for that cross-ice pass, and he intercepted it.
Husted committing an infringement, and he'll have to leave the face-off circle. Hoffenkamp steps in, wins it. Havner wrists one, and Henry had to throw his blocker up at that. The puck squirts into the corner, and the Sun Devils will try to dig it out. Moving it to the front end is Havner. Hoffenkamp working to gain possession, and he'll just clap one all the way around the offensive end. Havner tries to steal the half wall. Hoffenkamp once again read it, but it hit his skates, and a 2-on-1 the other way for the Broncos if they can hurry. A good read by Miller, though, stops that chance in its tracks. Hoffenkamp with numbers the other way. Looks for the shot, but it's blocked away by the captain. In front of the net, Husted couldn't find it, and Mills brings it the other way. Mills trying to toe drag around Husted. Husted with a good read. At the end of a shift, he's just trying to get the puck to a fellow defenseman to clear the zone, but he cannot. Miller and Husted try to dig it out as it's Hull in the corner. Hull gets some help from some fresh new skaters, and the Broncos get the puck back. Another block by Miller, and he'll just get that one out of the zone. The Sun Devils looking to at least get a partial change. but it's Hoffman who will try to bring it back the other way. Havner going to the bench for a change, and a lucky bounce as that one goes out of play.
Pace is starting to really pick up, especially on Arizona State side of things, as well as for the first time tonight in this period, they've been able to really be a thorn in the side of UCO when they establish their forecheck, which they haven't so far.
Studioso will lose the draw, but get the puck and just fire a funny bouncer in, and that'll be collected by Henry. Brett, a little reminiscent of the great Nick Lidstrom, who was talking about a couple of the goals he scored, just dumping the puck and looking for that funny bounce in front of the net. Just curious your thoughts and if you've ever tried that in your day.
Yeah, I have a little bit, and also, too, depends on the ice. It's been a little bit chewed up because both teams are skating so hard, and you just never know.
Studioso, Plurd trying to get the puck. Studioso ultimately gets it. Feeds a pass and a high short angle shot by Plurd. Actually was labeled for the top corner if Henry doesn't get his chest up to block it. Broadsamore comes out of his net to nullify the icing call. Throws it up the glass, kept in by the Broncos. Burton throws a stick at it, but misses, and Lackey the other way. Lackey's in on a breakaway. Clayton Lackey, and what a save by Henry. The referee, though, has his arm up. And it will be a slashing call. No penalty shot, but a slashing call as the defense was desperately trying to break up that scoring opportunity for Clayton Lackey.
Again, UCO being a little too aggressive. Both of the defensemen for them on that ice was puck watching a little bit, and Davin Burton ended up committing a penalty as Clayton Lackey was on a mini breakaway, but it was a big stop by the goaltender Henry, bailing out his defenseman.
So another power play here for the Sun Devils. They were able to cash in near the tail end of that first power play. But the Broncos will get off on the right foot here as they send it all the way down the ice. Studioso having to give chase, but the first one there is Mikhailov. Studioso and Clayton Lackey trying to work it out of their own end. Bronson Moore with the assist, gets it to Kowalchuk, now to Studioso. Power forward, stops on the half wall, looks to send it down low. Plurd wanted to glove it down. Back to the point, just kept in by Studioso. He feeds across to Abner, he wrists one in! Coming way out a la Dominic Hasek was Henry, and he just got a piece of that puck. Kowalchuk mishandling the puck a little bit, and that'll ultimately be sent all the way down the ice. The Sun Devils with some crisp passing early on this PP.
Yeah, I don't think Henry was even expecting that pass to go through, and that's why he was sprawling in his own crease.
Captain will send it down low. Henry gets a stick on it. Plurd will soccer it to himself. Get some help from Husted. Back to Lackey. Over to Husted. Husted walks in and fires a wrister, and he scores! A power play goal for number 10, Andrew Husted, and the Sun Devils open up their lead.
Looked like Husted before that shot was going to be taken. He was moving around looking like he was going to try and pass it again, but then he had an epiphany and thought, oh, wait, maybe if I just stop here and I see a few of my line mates being able to screen the goaltender Henry, I can maybe get a shot through. He was able to get that puck and knuckle it through traffic. Ended up going bar down on the goaltender, and the Sun Devils now have a 2-goal lead in this hockey game.
Moore will save that one. And a big goal for the Sun Devils. It's Husted from Plurd and Havner. Havner now with 2 assists on the evening already. And the Sun Devils with a 2-goal lead. Miller will send it around his own end, looking for the forward Shaw. Shaw kicked it out to Miller, and he'll activate and skate all the way up. Wanted to find Jet Larson, but it was just a little in front of Larson, couldn't get the puck. The other way, the Broncos settling it down, looking for the shot, just a little high off the stick of Aramuspe. Jet Larson the other way, tries to cut it in the middle, but the puck rolls on edge, and will go straight to the stick of number 10, Dale McCabe. McCabe and the Broncos down now 2 goals at the middle point of this second period. Platt takes a hard check, gets it in the offensive end as he gets familiar with Cooper Kraus. A delayed penalty to the Sun Devils behind the play. The Broncos with a man advantage briefly the other direction. And Shaw will touch up, and we will have a roughing call assessed to the Sun Devils.
UCO had a lead early against U Arizona last night in Tucson. Ended up losing it late into that hockey game, and it'll be interesting to see how they're going to respond to adversity again 2 nights in a row.
Some encouragement coming from the bench for the Sun Devil PK unit, but it's kept in by the Broncos. Coming the other way is Hoffenkamp shorthanded. Hoffenkamp, a power move to the front of the net. He rips one, and Henry will collect it. Hoffenkamp throws his head up to the sky as he knew he had a golden opportunity there, a man down.
Yeah, and Hoffenkamp ended up keeping those wheels turning. Was almost able to make something out of that chance. Henry was just able to stand his ground and make the stop.
Henry, as he takes his mask off, we get a view at a nice mustache. You know he's growing one out for Movember. And Brett, unfortunately, I cannot partake with you and many other men this month as I was not gifted with the ability to grow a great mustache.
Hey, it could be a blessing sometimes, depending on who you're asking.
Certainly could. Into the slot, poked ahead by number 15, Gage Joel. In the corner, a hard check laid by Palumbo as the veteran forward coming in the lineup tonight has done a great job adding a little bit of grit and experience to the Sun Devil forward core. The other direction, Ryan Lanfear will bring it. He wanted a tripping call, but none coming. Broncos bring it back the other way, but that will be offsides on Mills. Sun Devils lead the shot column 25-19 right now. And Brett, it's been a great period for them as they lead in the shot column this period alone 8-2 right now, and I think that really represents how this period has gone so far for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, once they were able to get that second goal to take that 1-goal lead, it's been able to put UCO on the back foot a little bit, and I think right now the Broncos are trying to find themselves within the hockey game right now.
And we've talked about adversity more than a few times on this broadcast throughout the season. The Sun Devils responding extremely well right now to the adversity that they've seen on the weekend. A nifty move in the offensive end keeps the play alive for Mikhailov. Mikhailov will get it up to the point now. Working it across to Kraus in front of the net. Activates Mikhailov, and he can't get the shot away. Still on the puck behind the net. Mikhailov circling the wagons to Kraus. Reverses to Mikhailov. Gets it to the captain at the point. That shot through traffic, and Moore will save it as Durbin-Uke looks for a deflection in front of the net, but the Sun Devils, a nice job clearing out the front of the blue paint for Bronson Moore.
It was a weird pass by Kraus because he really wanted to put some mustard behind that pass to find that streaker coming in on the weak side on the back post, but it almost worked out for him even better of fanning on the pass because it ended up being a changeup instead, allowed that passing lane to expand a little bit and allowed the puck to go right through, but fortunately for Arizona State, it didn't come to any fruition.
Studioso loses that draw. Back at the point, Durbin-Uke slides it across. That shot takes a deflection in front. The Broncos still on it. 22 seconds left on the power play for the Broncos. Behind the net, Colbeans gets it up high, Durbin-Uke. Durbin-Uke moves it down low. Back to Mikhailov. Mikhailov moves it low to high, gets it back. Wrists one, but Kowalchuk got a stick on it, and it goes wide of the net. The Broncos still on the puck. Kraus sends it down low in the feet of Cunningham. He takes a check, and the Sun Devils on the puck right now. It's Lanfear, but it's stripped away by Cunningham. We're at even strength. Behind the play, the Broncos getting a quick change. The Sun Devils, meanwhile, still have the same group of skaters on. Lackey, though, fresh legs, and he'll skate in the offensive zone. Lackey, short angle, he fires a low one. And getting a stick on it is Henry, and that ski ball's up into the netting, and we have a stoppage in play after a successful penalty kill for the Sun Devils.
Lackey came fresh off the bench for that man who committed the penalty for Arizona State, and he did have the opportunity at Elliott Plurd on the backside, but I think he wanted to instead go for a rebound play and hopefully have it come right out to the stick of his line mate. But it was nice positioning by Henry to put that puck up in the air.
Studioso trying to make a quick move off the faceoff. Wouldn't go, but he gets the puck back. He holds it in the corner while he waits for reinforcements. Plurd steps in, but the Broncos are able to clear it first and foremost to the neutral before Miller gets the puck. Broncos with a little havoc in their own end, cause a turnover, bring it back the other way. Still with the puck in front of his net. The rebound kicks out. And Bronson Moore forced to make a reactionary save. Luckily, no one on the back door to collect it. Plurd through the legs, can't get the puck. Lackey supporting him. Miller laying a hard check. Sun Devils will have to tag up here. Studioso delays. And we'll go to the bench for a quick change. Broncos just get that deflected at the red line. Bronson Moore way out of his net to play it. And he'll reverse it to Husted. Husted, that puck stuck in the skates of the referee. Sun Devils now just need to get it out of their own end and clear some pressure. 6:39 remaining in the second period. Sun Devils establishing a nice 2-goal lead in this middle frame. Broncos really trying to fight back right now as they're amping up the pressure on the Sun Devils, really getting the forecheck going. Burton uses his body to shield the puck. He'll send him all the way up the ice as he sees he has Hull across the blue line, Hull in on sides. He has Mills moving down low, feeds it to Mills as he had Hoffman activating from the point, but it just goes off the edge of the stick of Mills. A break for the Sun Devils. Hull on it again. He fires from short angle, deflected wide. Mills wants to jam it in. Moore got the stick down, wouldn't go. Mills on it. He beats Miller to the puck and sends it down low. On the stick of Stalzer, trying to get it to the front of the net as Mills was making a move. But it's Hoffenkamp who emerges with the puck and will skate it into the offensive zone. Hoffenkamp protects against Burton. Burton does just enough to disrupt him, and the Broncos come back the other way. A 2-on-1, now a mini breakaway. Bronson Moore tries to get the stick out, but he cannot poke the puck away, and it's a nice move in front of the net by Gage Joel as he goes backhand, forehand, roof job. And the lead is now only one for the Sun Devils.
That was a tough one for the defenseman, number 7, Jack Hosworth. He was caught in no man's land. He didn't know if he wanted to go step up and reach that puck or if he just wanted to poke it. He ended up poking the puck, wasn't able to get his man. He ended up taking a tumble right at the center ice line, and that allowed the extra step for UCO to go in on that breakaway.
UCO coming back for more. That shot off the stick of Joel, just wide. A turnover at the blue line, though, and it's Jet Larson on the puck. He'll try to wrist one, but that's blocked in front by Durbanyuk. And if not for a block by the captain, Jet Larson has a great look at the net in close.
Another tight hockey game tonight. Ended up only being 2 goals the difference last night against Oklahoma for the Sun Devils, and another tight one tonight against another good opponent.
Some great action. As always, folks, here on ASU ACHA YouTube, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any more great ACHA action as this season goes on. Broncos looking to add more to their comeback. But it's the Sun Devils who dig it out of their own end and will skate it the other way. Jet Larson, stick handling, just chips it ahead of himself. Henry will come out and try to make a Hail Mary pass, and he collects it, but that one is just off sides. Otherwise, we may be looking at a primary assist to the goaltender, Alex Henry, as he saw Austin Cunningham gunning for a breakaway at the opposing blue line.
Looks like it's going to be a weird one. It looked like it ended up being possibly an offside, but then there's also a penalty committed. Zachary Kowalczyk, the captain's trying to figure out an explanation from it. Looks like there's some confusion actually with the referee and the linesman on where this faceoff is going to be taken. But either way, it's going to be a power play for UCO. And where they're at one point in this period down 2 goals, they could possibly crawl back and tie the hockey game within the same period.
the point, it's Durbin-Uke with it now. He'll try to make a quick little pass to his left, but it's Studioso who makes a great read, and he'll dump it down the ice. Sun Devil PK has been one of their strengths this year, especially among their two special teams. And they'll want to make sure that remains a strength here so they can keep their one-goal lead alive. Durbin-Uke skates it ahead, passes it to Mikhailov. Mikhailov will try to dump it in. That's gloved down by Slavic. But Mikhailov got it back over to Durbin-Uke as he activated from the point, but that pass a little in front of him. Durbin-Uke on it now. We'll slide that one across the blue line to Kraus. Kraus moves it down low. Colbeans up to Durbin-Uke to Mikhailov. That just squirts off the edge of his stick as he was trying to make a play to the front of the net. Sun Devils working to dig it out behind their own net. But it's Mikhailov on the puck again behind the goal line. Looking to feed him back to the point, put it to Durbin-Uke, but it's broken up by the defenseman. The Sun Devils will try to get a partial change on this penalty kill. But they can only get one fresh player. It's Miller. That just goes off the edge of his stick as he dives out to make a play, but it's still Broncos puck. Skating around with the puck there is Stalzer. They eventually get it back to the point. Hull now skates to the middle, drops the pass. That shot short angle, it hit the pipe off the stick of Gage Joel as he wanted the upper corner and nearly found it.
Yeah, he almost did. A lot of traffic, similar to how Arizona State has scored a couple of their goals. UCO is trying to do the same thing of having a few bodies in the line of sight for the goaltender Moore. Almost ended up paying off as that one rang off the crossbar.
.25 seconds left on the power play for the Broncos. Offensive zone draw, they win it. Back to the point, it's Hull. Hull to the middle of the ice, throws a wrister through some traffic, but Moore will swallow it up.
Kenny Miller has had a good game for the Sun Devils tonight. He did another great thing right there as he was able to lift the stick of the UCO player and impede his progress of being able to be in the line of sight for Moore, and he made an easy save.
Plurd wins that draw, skates it ahead, gets tripped down, but no call. And the Broncos keep it alive behind the goal line. Miller trying to dig away at it as he's up against Gage Joel and some other Broncos. 5 seconds left on the power play. That point shot through some traffic. Miller blocks it, and that one hurt him. Burton backhands one into the corner. We're at 5-on-5 hockey. Broncos tic-tac-toe in front of the net, and Moore with a great save as some tired Sun Devil penalty killers caught a little bow-legged in front of their own net, and Bronson Moore bails them out.
Yeah, it looked like it ended up being Niall Mills in on the attack for UCO, and the Sun Devils, again, got to sing the praises of Kenneth Miller as he was able to block that shot, and Sun Devils do a great job on that penalty kill.
Miller on the ice for a couple goals against last night, as well as the goal for that got them back into the game temporarily against the Sooners, but tonight it's been all positives for the veteran defenseman as he has been all over the ice making good defensive plays for the Sun Devils. Platt tries to throw a wrister. That's blocked in front of the net, but he gets his rebound back, throws it short angle, and poking away at his Chambers. He takes a stick to the face, wants a call for high sticking, none forthcoming. And we get a face-off in the offensive zone with 2:26 left.
Nice response by one of the bottom lines for Arizona State of being able to get the puck back in the offensive zone, which hasn't been there for the last few minutes of the end of the second period, and something to keep the Broncos a little bit honest.
Platt loses that face-off to Davies. And the clearing attempt by Guffey goes off of the glass up into the netting, and we'll redo this face-off. Platt up against Davies once again. The two lefties, and it's Davies who wins it once more. Burton behind his own net, delays, tries to get a clearing attempt to turn over. Platt fires a wrister, rebound in front, and Henry will cover it up. As it was Drew Platt, opportunistic on that turnover in the slot, just getting a quick shot to the front of the net, and Henry was waiting for it.
Central Oklahoma's defensemen keep trying to look for that home run pass, looking for that cross-ice pass for that weak side winger to try to spring him in on a breakaway. but there they ended up getting caught red-handed with it and ended up turning an almost dangerous opportunity in.
Platt wins the draw. Kowalchuk, the one-timer, and he had that one labeled for the top right corner as he throws his head back to the heavens. Another great save by Alex Henry, number 33, working his tail off right now for the Broncos to keep them only down a goal. Platt off the draw will just poke it straight ahead, and Henry will cover it again. And Brett, you love to see some of the depth players that we haven't seen really step up too often this year, making the biggest difference right now for the Sun Devils.
Drew Platt ended up winning that face-off opportunity for that awesome Kowalchuk chance.
Platt ties it up. Chambers comes in to help him out, but the Broncos dig it out themselves. Joel skates it ahead. Joel across the blue line. With a delayed penalty back behind the play. The goalie gets to the bench. There's equipment flying all over the place. A yard sale in front of the Broncos bench. And now a little brouhaha in the corner. Is that penalty coming to the Sun Devils? It's going to be Drew Platt going for a high sticking call. Ironically, the same shift that Chambers was looking for a second high sticking call. But it's the Broncos who will go on the power play.
Unfortunate for the Sun Devils, a poor penalty as Drew Platt's not pleased with himself of taking one in the offensive zone for no reason as the puck was going the other way.
Lanfear and Kowalchuk will be the penalty killers on the back end. Hoffenkamp and Palumbo, the forwards, here shorthanded. Broncos will win the draw, get it back to the point. Hull feeds it to Mills. Mills on his weak side, operating, gets it back to the point to Hull. Hull wants Mills, so he gives it right back to him. A no-look pass by Mills. Down low, back to Mills, and digging that puck out was Hoffenkamp. Sun Devils just avoiding a grade A scoring opportunity for Mills. Hull walks it in, feeds it into the slot, forehand, backhand, and more with a big save on the penalty kill. Broncos keep it alive, get it back up high to Hull. Hull dishes it to McCabe. McCabe across to Mills. That one squeaks through, and they score! Bronson Moore on the seat of his pants right now, but it's the Broncos who are celebrating as that shot squeaked through Bronson Moore. He couldn't find it, and all alone on the back door for the Broncos was the forward. Didn't get a read on the number, but it doesn't matter. It's 3-3.
Central Oklahoma have been doing this all night when they set up on the power play. They're trying to spread Arizona State out as much as possible so they can have that guy on the back door open and free to attack the puck, and it ended up working to perfection there, tying the game.
Broncos coming right back once again. Moore forced to make another save. That shot through traffic, deflected in front. Back to the point, looking for even more. A block by Miller, and he'll feed it ahead. Up to Lackey, they're in on sides. Lackey on his strong side, wanted to feed one in front, it wouldn't go. Coming in late is Studioso, and he just can't keep it in. That's going to be an offsides, and with 45 seconds left on the clock, it's 3-3. Brett, a great start to this period for the Sun Devils, but the Broncos have really pushed back hard.
Yeah, they've been up to the task, being able to face a little adversity. They were able to tie within this period 3-3. Hasn't been easy so far for any of these teams.
Some great action. We knew coming into this weekend, the 3 games against Oklahoma and Central Oklahoma would not be easy at all, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Moore shoulders that one away, short angle. Miller on the puck now, trying to fight off a couple different Broncos. 25 seconds on the clock. The Broncos dig it out in the offensive end. Back to Hoffman. He'll fire a wrister. Moore kicks out the rebound behind the net. Short side. The Broncos, that one just goes wide. Back on it again. Looking for Moore is number 14 Cunningham, but Moore made the save. Hoffman on the half wall now. Back up to the point. Burton looking for a quick shot. That deflected just wide of the net. 5 seconds left on the clock. The Sun Devils need to get a clear. And almost keeping it at the blue line was Burton. But he'll just flick that one into the offensive end. And the Sun Devils escape this period 3-3. We didn't think at the start of that period we would be saying escaping with a 3-3 tie. As we welcome you into the broadcast booth, I'm here with our cameraman and player, Alex Searing. And Alex, you're correct. It started off very well for the Sun Devils. A couple quick goals. The compete was high. You were all over it there, but then the Broncos, they just did not give up.
Yeah, I assumed we would come out hard after the first period, and then tables turned. We got a couple bad bounces with penalties, and UCO capitalized. So I expect our guys to come out even harder next period. Hopefully we stay out of the box and we can get the job done. UCO came out really hard towards the end of the period there and tied the game. And I expected nothing less for it to be a close game, and here we are.
Certainly the case, and you mentioned staying out of the box, a key for the Sun Devils. They've had a few power play opportunities and have certainly looked more lethal tonight than they did last night. Do you see anything different with the power play unit tonight for ASU?
I think our chances, like that goal Huey had was beautiful. He has a lethal shot. It's probably one of the hardest on the team, and I just think that we're executing with our chances on the power play as well. We've had a little ups and downs with the power play this year, but I think it's getting better, and the guys are starting to understand how to work the system, and it looked really good that period.
It certainly did, and while the 5-on-4 has been good, the 5-on-5 maybe a little more in favor of the Broncos, and I'm sure we're going to see mostly 5-on-5 play in the third period. So what do you think Arizona State's going to have to do to really dominate that most important facet of the game?
I think we're just gonna have to come out hard, because I think UCO they're gonna come out hard as well, and I think we just have to keep playing the way we're playing, be hard on pucks, get pucks to the net, and I think opportunities will come. Also, I feel that we need to capitalize on our chances that we get. That's a big part of the game, and a big thing that we need to happen. I mean, like last night, like Stewie had a couple breakaways, and bad luck happens, but like those chances can really change the game.
They certainly can, and hopefully it'll be a game changer at some point in the third period for Arizona State. You were pretty spot on with your second period prognostications. What do you got for all of us and the viewers back home for the third period?
I think it's going to be a tight one. I think we're going to win I think ASU will win 4-3. I think it's going to be a tight, close game, but I think it's going to be back and forth, just like you guys have seen all game.
I'd love to see a 4-3 victory. Anybody in particular you think gets getting the goal tonight?
No.
No.
Probably, if I would have to pick a guy from our team, probably Elliott, but or Stewie, but for the next big goal. But you never know with Chuck. Chuck can be clutch at times, and Platt's working really hard tonight. He's sticking out to me. There's a lot of guys that are just doing their job well, and that anyone can score. We all four lines have been going, so.
And that's certainly been one of the catalysts tonight in this great game between the Sun Devils and the Broncos. Don't go anywhere, folks. We're about 10 minutes away from some exciting third period action here at Oceanside Ice Arena on ASU ACHA Hockey YouTube.
Hi, Mom and Dad. Love ya.
Welcome back, folks. The third period right around the corner here in Tempe, Arizona at Oceanside Ice Arena. I am Niall Cooper. My partner is Brett Vaughn. And we are in the middle of a hotly contested affair between the visiting University of Central Oklahoma Broncos and your Arizona State Sun Devils. The score is 3-3. And Brett, the compete level of this game has been sky high from minute 1 to minute 40.
Yeah, definitely been a great litmus test for Arizona State against a top contender.
Broncos coming back the other way early in the second. That broken up in front by Hoffenkamp. Otherwise, the Broncos may be a one-timer right in front of the net. Kowalchuk digs it out, feeds it to Landfear. Landfear stops and goes, and he's in on the offensive end, throwing one in front of the net. That bouncing around, kept in at the point by Husted. Feeds it to Hoffenkamp. In the middle of Havner, he looks for a shot that takes a funny deflection, but Burton's able to pick it up and send it all the way down the ice. Moore out of his net to play it, and he'll just try to get that out of the zone. He does just enough to get it across the blue line. Pushed ahead now, it's Husted in all alone. Husted, he fires! And Henry getting his left arm up to save it. On a mini breakaway for Andrew Husted, and the Sun Devils almost scoring early here in the third period to go up.
Man, an unbelievable stop by Henry. Both of these goaltenders have been doing their part tonight, and Henry was able to make a blocker save, just able to tuck his left arm underneath him and somehow stop that chance.
Lackey trying to get his stick on the puck, just missed. The Broncos will fire that one in from the neutral zone. Moore forced to glove it down. Face-off coming to the right of Bronson Moore, stepping in his studio, so he'll try to win it against Mills. He will, and Slavic will risk that one off the glass. Lackey just missing the puck. Slavic will try to bring it ahead himself, but turns it over at the blue line. A 3-on-2 real quick the other way for the Broncos. On his backhand, throwing it in front of the net, trying to find Mills, was number 18, Stalzer, just out of his reach. Lackey gets to the Studioso. Studioso has Mills giving chase, so he'll just dump it in once he gains the red. And Henry will knock it down for the defense. Jared Guffey, as he fights off the forecheck of Clayton Lackey. Drew Platt coming in to give chase, but it just gets across the red line, and in come the Broncos. Sliding into the middle and firing a wrister was Stalzer, but Bronson Moore there to answer.
Would have liked to see Michael Slavic be a little more diligent with that puck. He was able to pick it off as Central Oklahoma was trying to touch up to not be offside, but he ends up forcing it up the strong side where all the bodies are instead of taking it over to the weak side, either passing it or skating it that side where there's more space.
The puck in front of the net, and Bronson Moore making a save as one of the Broncos snuck in all alone off of the faceoff. Drew Platt wants to get it out of his own end, so he'll push it ahead to Chambers. Chambers tries to get it back to Platt, but the pass doesn't connect. The Broncos enter into late offside, so the Sun Devils will just chip it out. The neutral zone battle ensuing. Last night it was the Sooners who were able to win that neutral zone battle most of the night, which really propelled them to the victory. Neither team wants to give an inch right now, hence all the delayed offsides we're seeing as it gets a little bit mucky. Hosworth will try to get a clean breakout for the Sun Devils. He skates past two, past three, looks for the shot, and that gets deflected. Up in the pads of the captain, Durbanyuk, and he'll push it ahead. A little too far as it gets to Bronson Moore, but he'll turn it over in his own end. Platt wanted to get a change, has to come back, play defense. Moore with the save. Moore took something there on that play as he's having a hard time getting up. And Hosworth will just risk that one up into the stands for a stoppage in play. The Sun Devils won't get a change, but the injured player, Platt, will get off. And Brett, we got a great explanation there on that call.
Yeah, we did. You could hear him from here, and look at that. He's even going over to the Central Oklahoma bench and talking with their head coach, Michael Rivera. Great bedside manner by that referee.
Yeah, for those who couldn't pick up on it, he's saying the puck has to clear the glass in order to get no change for the defensive team. It went straight up into the roof, hence the ability to get a quick change. Broncos pushing once more. As they've held a good portion of the play early in the third period. We're 3 minutes in. Shaw will chip it out to himself, try to get the puck. Gets a little help from Sullivan, who pushes it back up to Shaw. Shaw trying to get it down low, gets ridden hard off the puck by the defenseman. In front of the net, it's Sullivan. As that puck ping-ponged around to him, and he tried to bat it out of the air. Slavic with a little trouble getting it down, and the Broncos come back the other way on a 2-on-2. Demon, the forward, coming back to play defense, make sure to break that play up. The Slavic once again caught up in the neutral zone, turning the puck over. Sun Devils a partial change behind the play as Havner and Husted jump on the ice. Shaw still out there, however. Miller on for defense, lays a check, separates the man from the puck. That one squirts just in front of Bronson Moore, but Husted gets it back. Husted moving his feet, galloping through the neutral zone, into the offensive end. Fires one short side, Henry with the save. Husted on it again. Havner on the ice, Hoffenkamp will ultimately get the puck. Back to the point, that shot fanned on by Landfear. Havner trying to keep it alive, and that's sent down the ice. No icing on the play. Kowalczyk gets it from Moore. A good pass up to Hoffenkamp, and he'll get some speed going through the neutral zone. Hoffenkamp protects the puck, fires one. Henry with the save. Behind the net, it can be picked up by Husted. He tried to make a quick cut, but loses the puck. And back the other way comes Colbeans. He'll dump it in. Bronson Moore once again way out of his net to play it. He'll get it to Hoffenkamp, but a turnover at their own blue line for the Sun Devils. And they'll have to go back on the defensive. Knocking it down is Moore. Kowalczyk settles down, a bouncing puck. Drops it to Havner. Havner with his head up. He has two men in the neutral zone. Can't find either one of them, but I suppose it must have taken a deflection. At the last second, the linesman waves off the icing. Mills bringing it back the other way. To his right hand. Behind the net, Mills looking for a passing option. Decides to go back to the point. Durbanyuk fires one through traffic. It's knocked down. Goes wide of the net. Krause keeps it in. Thrown in front of the net. Mills all alone, but it's on his backhand and rolling, so he settles it down. Goes down low with it. Hull, low to high. Durbanyuk will rim one down low off of the half wall. McLaughlin, the first one on it for the Sun Devils, but he loses the battle to Mills. Mills, some hard work. They keep it alive and send it down low. The Broncos do. But it's Hosworth, the first one on it for the Sun Devils. He'll try to chip it to his forward, Plurd. Plurd gets it back to Hosworth. The Broncos on it once again, though. Studioso finally wins the battle and will get it ahead to Lackey. Lackey in all the way on a breakaway. Lackey, and he scores! Clayton Lackey. Fool me one time, shame on you, but a second breakaway opportunity for the skilled forward, and the Sun Devils regain the lead. It's 4-3.
Unbelievable pass, out of this world pass by the math major, Brandon Studioso. He was able to get that turnover at his own blue line. He saw Clayton Lackey streaking with no defender from UCO around him. Instead of trying to go directly at him where it could have been picked off, he ends up going and playing it indirectly off the boards, right in stride for Lackey. And from there, Lackey did all the rest. 4-3 Sun Devils.
And it's a power play here for the Sun Devils. As after the fact, Lackey took a slash. And just like we saw in the second period when Zachary Kowalczyk got assessed a slashing penalty after the whistle, the same thing comes back the other direction in favor of the Sun Devils, as they will have an opportunity now to open this lead back up to 2. Lackey, the goal scorer at the blue line. He wants to feed it down low to Havner. Havner, a nice stick handling move, will get the puck out. A little miscommunication between he and Lackey, and the Sun Devils trying to forecheck just to get the puck back. And they will, but it's in the neutral zone. So Lackey will skate it ahead. Dishes it Studioso. Goes east to west to Plurd. He wrists one. That catches Henry a little off guard. May have caught him in the neck protector, but he gets the cover.
Yeah, it was a weird shot. Elliot Plurd ended up getting that saucer pass from Studioso on the far side. I think he wanted to go a little lower, maybe even 5-hole on that shot, but ended up getting ramped up by the deflection of the defenseman Davin Burton, and it ramped up on the goaltender. Henry luckily is in good position.
Very apropos song as Sun Devils trying to work down low to get the puck back. But it's the Broncos on it right now, reversing his number 19, Mikhailov. Mikhailov with some nice skating, and he'll throw that one down the ice, just missing the linesman. As a minute gone by on this Sun Devil power play. Osworth trying to settle down a bumbling puck. Feeds it up to Chambers on the left wing. Chambers will skate it across the blue line, dump it into himself, and go after it. Hobbs gives a hard check behind the boards, and his bench appreciates that effort. A stick between the legs. Houston gets knocked down. No call from the referee, and the Broncos will chip it all the way down the ice. Moore coming way out of his net to play it. He'll slash at it. Can't get it out of the zone. And a diving play in front of the net. Jack Hosworth with a game saver.
Might have to give him the Vezina trophy after that save. Glove save, I might add.
Absolutely amazing from the defenseman turned goalie as Bronsmore caught way out of his net trying to play the puck. Sun Devils averting a near crisis. The Broncos, however, will come back for more. A 3-on-1 with some speed, getting a hard ride, and the puck knocked off of his stick, but the referee's going to call a tripping penalty. Delayed. The Broncos still have the puck, however. Burton sizes up a clapper. That one going wide of the net. Moore will save it. And we'll have a tripping call assessed here on Husted.
Husted probably saved a goal right there as he was facing a 3-on-1 from the Broncos, and he was able to reach for the puck, possibly not even a no call, but in either case ended up saving Arizona State's bacon.
And Husted trying to argue not the call that sent him to the box, but previously in the offensive zone before Hosworth had to make that diving save. He got a stick between his legs, got can openered, and went down. No call, and he wasn't too happy with that. Unfortunately for him, he'll still have to sit for 2 minutes. Hoffenkamp defensively. He'll get the puck and feed it ahead. A great pass, and it's Jet Larson in on a breakaway. Jet Larson goes forehand, and it's saved by Henry as the net comes off the moorings. We're seeing game-saving attempts both ends. Number 33 in blue, number 1 in white, making all the stops right now for their teams to keep them in the game.
Arizona State's probably had about 5 or 6 breakaway chances so far in the total of this hockey game, and UCO somehow still in it as Jet Larson was not able to convert.
We're 8 minutes gone by here in the final frame. 100 seconds left on the power play for the Broncos. Skating in and getting a wrist shot on in tight was Gage Joel, courtesy of the speed he built up as he backed up the Sun Devil defense. Bronson Moore got his pad on it. Still on to the Broncos, sliding one across to Hull. It's on his backhand, so he has to settle it down. Feeds it back. The one-timer blocked in front by Jet Larson. Hoffenkamp follows it up, and Hoffenkamp can bring it into the neutral zone, delay, and ultimately send it in the corner to kill some valuable time.
Arizona State, great job on this penalty kill. That's been the main reason why the Broncos have been able to get back into this hockey game. It's because of their power play.
Krause holding it behind his own net as the Broncos set up the breakout. Platt laying a hard check in the neutral zone. That was Dominic Colbing's on the receiving end. Krause will go down low to pick up the puck. Gives it to his forward. Back up to the point, Durbanyuk. Drops it to Mikhailov, back to Durbanyuk. He'll fire a wrister. That takes a deflection, blocked by Platt. He'll try to send it out, but it's kept in by Durbanyuk. He'll be there for the Broncos. The Sun Devils will push it ahead once again. Sullivan near the end of his shift will just elect to get the puck deep with 19 seconds left on the power play for UCO. Skating it back the other way is Krause. Weaves through the neutral zone. Drops it to the point. Tic-tac-toe. Looking for a quick shot was Durbanyuk, but the Sun Devils again blocking the puck. Down low, trying to make a power move, throwing one through the blue paint. Nobody on the receiving end. The Sun Devils will clear it down. Plurd fresh out of the box as he switched for Husted after the penalty expired. We're at 5-on-5. Plurd to the front of the net, still on the puck, but Henry pokes it off the edge of his stick, and the Broncos will wrist it all the way down the ice.
Beautiful kill by Arizona State. A few block shots paying the price.
The captain, Kowalchuk, weaves through the neutral zone, sends it ahead to Lackey. Lackey and Kowalchuk reverse. Kowalchuk will go down low, and he'll get the puck. The captain sends it low to high Lanfear. Pass it Studioso, back up to Kowalchuk. Kowalchuk fires a wrister looking for the deflection. It was Plurd right in front of the net, just missing out. Download Studioso to Lanfear. Lanfear keeps it alive. Just to Kowalchuk. Kowalchuk delays and gets it over to Studioso, but he wasn't ready for the pass. And it's the Broncos who have a chance to clear it, but kept in by Lanfear. Krause, some pressure applied on him by Studioso. Plurd comes in to help out. And the Broncos will get the clear this time as they rim it around their own end. Miller looking for the streaker. It's Studioso. Studioso in alone, and Henry with a big save on Brendan Studioso as he managed to slide in behind the defense. Slavic feeds it over to Miller. Delayed penalty back behind the Sun Devil possession as Moore will go to the net for an extra attacker. Broncos will be the guilty party. Hull applying pressure on Lackey. Lackey skates it out. Feeds it to the left wing to Plurd. Plurd, that rolls off the edge of his stick and touched up by the Broncos, where we'll have a whistle, and it will in fact be a slashing call assessed to Central Oklahoma.
The Broncos better be able to pay Alex Henry's meal ticket after the game. He's been unbelievable, stopping breakaway after breakaway and keeping his Broncos team within a goal.
4-3 is the score, 8:37 on the clock. The shot clock really getting lit up tonight by both teams as the Sun Devils hold a 40-38 advantage in the shot column. There have not been a lot of whistles tonight, Brett, which has really helped the pace of play.
Yeah, it definitely has. We might get out of here and maybe see a late movie.
Maybe even an early movie. I'll have time to get that double buttered popcorn. Hopefully. Sun Devils in on the offensive zone after winning the draw. Hosworth creating some space, throws one in front of the net, looking for a tip. Didn't get it. Broncos want to clear the puck. They'll send it all the way down the ice as Moore comes out to play it once again. Moore feeds it to Chambers. He'll send it across the ice to Hosworth. Sun Devils get it in the offensive zone. Platt just off the edge of his stick, and Henry will cover that up.
I can't think of a time where we've had two goalies in the same game so aggressive with playing the puck. I don't know.
It's pretty exciting to watch. That's one thing, and you can feel the tension on the bench every time the puck squirts out and the goalie has to come make a play. But when you have the kind of saves that they're making throughout the entire game, it's hard to argue with their methodology. Hosworth will throw it down low to Platt. Platt taps one behind to Chambers. Chambers wanted to feed Shaw in front of the net, but couldn't get it to him. Platt on it. Will bank it off the wall. He wanted Houston, but it's poked ahead by the Broncos. A 2-on-2. Platt trying to come back and help out defensively. The Broncos does pass, and what a save by Bronson Moore as he went full splits to make that one, and the Broncos thought they had the equalizer. The Sun Devils back the other way. Houston. Button hooks in the offensive zone. Sauces one across to Lackey. Fresh in off the bench. Lackey back to Houston. On his feet, he'll dig it out, and Henry with the save. On it now is Guffey, and he'll send it all the way down. And Brett, what a massive save from Bronson Moore.
As a goaltender, you don't expect to get too many chances against you when your team's on the man advantage, and boy, Bronson Moore with the gymnastics making the stop.
Studioso will skate it in as he had Kowalczyk on the net, wanted to feed him. Just out of his reach, and the Broncos send it all the way back down. Havner has to hurry to get to the puck as it's Iramuspe giving chase. Iramuspe lays a hard check, and Moore comes out to play it. Feeds it to Lackey. Lackey not sure what he wanted to do there as the Sun Devils thought they were going to get a change, and Bronson Moore has to come out to glove it down after the turnover behind the goal line.
UCO working very hard on this penalty kill. Ended up being Iramuspe hustling to get to that loose puck. He was the first one on it for the Broncos. Almost resulted in a shorthanded opportunity.
Hard to believe with as fast as this game is going right now that we're still on the power play for the Sun Devils. 19 seconds left, and they'll win that defensive zone draw. Lackey looking to make amends. He'll get a good breakout pass. Another good pass. Kowalczyk, he wanted that third pass as it was Plurd streaking in. Just missed him, and the Broncos will dig that puck out and dump it down the ice as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey now. Lackey stops up, skates it out of his own zone. Goes off the half wall to Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk couldn't handle it. And the Broncos come back the other way, a 4-on-3. Durbin, you confront the deflection, and Moore with the leg pad save. Still on it is Mills. Lackey trying to stick lift him. Get some help from Plurd. Now Studioso, and they'll just get it out of the zone, and the Sun Devils can finally get a change. Durbin Uke Feeds it up to his forward. It's Joel with speed. Into Mills. Mills all alone. Back to Joel, and he missed the open net. A 4x6 gaping, and somehow the Broncos don't equalize. Joel dishes it back over to Mills. Mills will bide some time down low as Joel goes for a change behind the play. Miller applying the pressure defensively. Palumbo trying to get a stick in. Mills still on it. He'll clap one. That headhunter goes over the net and off the glass. Burton activates from the point to keep it alive. In the corner now, just trying to delay is Slavic. Broncos behind the net, operating in Gretzky's office, throwing it in front. Mills misses it, over to Burton, to Hoffman. Hoffman will try to clap one down low, but it's blocked by Slavic, and the Sun Devils come the other way. Demon, a nifty move across the blue line, but then it just skips over the edge of his stick. Broncos did dump it all the way down for an icing, but Moore had to come out and play it as Miller lost the foot race. Burton gets a nice pass in the middle of the ice, but loses possession. Behind the net, Miller operating on Colbeans. Husted now will get the puck, blows a tire in the corner, and it's Broncos' puck. They feed it in front of the net, just off the stick of Cunningham, and Slavic will try to feed it to Havner, and he does. Havner across the blue line, drops to Husted. Husted loses the puck, gets it back, delays, as he'll just wrist one back to Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk looking for a deflection in front. Hoffenkamp was there. Henry trying to cover it up, as he hungry hippopotamus is that puck, with Hoffenkamp waiting on the doorstep.
Central Oklahoma is going to have to be kicking themselves if they don't end up at least tying this hockey game or maybe taking it to OT. Going back to the chance they had in the second period of Aramuspi on a 2-on-0 and they don't get a shot, and then that one with Gage Joel had a wide open 4x6 and whiffed on it.
UCO will win the draw, get it all the way up, and now it's Lanfear back in a one-on-one. Lanfear, a good job to shoulder the forward away from the front of the net. It was Mikhailov who wanted to make that power move, and Moore will cover up.
Nice eye discipline by Lanfear, as you mentioned, Niall, of being able to just shepherd him to the outside. That's a save that Bronson Moore is going to make all day, of just that opportunity coming from the outside in the offensive zone.
Sun Devils will bank that off the glass and up to Hoffenkamp, who can skate it across the offensive blue line, but it's an offsides as he made a move and Havner thought he was going to go straight to the net.
Chance for Arizona State to really show their chops to Central Oklahoma and be able to try and protect this one-goal lead as we're getting later and later into the hockey game.
4 minutes exactly left on the clock in this tight, cagey affair between both teams. Sun Devils looking for a big victory here over the number 12 ranked Broncos after taking a hard-fought loss last night to the number 18 ranked Oklahoma Sooners.
These are games, and the way the pace has been all weekend for Arizona State is what you're going to be experiencing if you're trying to make it and compete for a national title, which UCO has done 2 times as a program.
McLaughlin gets it up to Studioso, but he had a hard time handling it. And now it's Mills coming back the other way on his backhand. He tries to squeeze one through the arms of Moore, but he'll seal that shut and get the save.
High-flying action tonight. I'm pretty sure anybody watching at home has been very impressed with today's game.
It's been a very, very good game, that's for sure. And a great bounce back for the Sun Devils after a tough game yesterday, not just in the result itself, but in the way the game progressed. Is certainly a game that they would want to have back, and you can never have a game back, but you can certainly make amends, and so far tonight, that's exactly what they've done against a very good Broncos team. As you mentioned, Brett, multiple-time national champions. Arizona State, national championships in their own right, and they'd love to make that happen again this year. As you mentioned, a good learning opportunity tonight. If they can gut out this victory, could go a long way in making that happen. Rugby scrum in the neutral zone. Broncos get it, trying to feed it to Durbin. Was Kraus, but a little out of his reach. He has to go back in his own end to get the puck. 3:15 on the clock. Captain under heavy pressure from the forecheck of the Sun Devils. And the Broncos really struggling to get the puck through the neutral zone right now. Great defense from Arizona State. After the turnover, Lackey brings it back in. Drops it to McLaughlin. McLaughlin back to Lackey. Over to Plurd. Plurd, no look, passed into the slot. Nobody there, but Platt keeps it alive. Platt trying to poke away at the puck. Ultimately cannot. The Broncos come back the other direction. Mills, Hull on it now. Hull fires one short side, and Moore makes the save. Going hard to the front of the net was Adam Stalzer. He takes a bit of a shot from Bronson Moore after the fact, who was none too pleased with him coming right through the middle of the crease. But the goaltender gets a stop for the Sun Devils with 2:42 left in the third period.
Liked how aggressive Bronson Moore was making that save. He's read the shot was going to be coming on his glove side, and he was able to read it and reach out and grab for that puck before any UCO player could have either gotten in his side of vision or possibly get a redirection on it.
Behind the play, Alex Henry just communicating with the UCO bench, wanting to know when and if they'll want to pull him. As we're getting down to crunch time now for the Broncos. Mikhailov will skate into the circle for the Broncos. The lefty going up against fellow lefty Drew Platt for the Sun Devils. Mikhailov wins it, gets through the circle, wanted a tripping call, but he doesn't get it. Lanfear will skate it out for the Sun Devils. Lanfear still on it. The fleet-footed skating right-handed defenseman gets it all the way to the goal line before losing possession, and the Broncos will bring it back the other way. Lanfear coming back defensively, and Moore just gets his glove on that enough to break up the shot. Chambers overskates the puck, and the Broncos tried to dump it back down. Ends up getting turned over, and they get the puck back, and Moore has to make a save after a high touch. And Jet Larson ends up giving it right back to the Broncos, but no problem when you have number one in net.
Jet Larson might have been a little confused, possibly didn't know it was a high touch by UCO. Ended up possibly giving a dangerous opportunity, but it was a nice stop by Moore.
And I believe we'll have a timeout here behind the play as the Broncos, with an offensive zone draw, want to get the play established. And Brett, this is exactly what you want to see if you're Tate Green, Jim Nellis, Austin Klein and company. You want to see how the Sun Devils operate in a situation like this. You're playing a top 12 opponent at home with a 1-goal lead, and you know the biggest difference makers, it's really not the teams at the end of the year who have the most 6-7 goal victories. It's the ones who can gut out those 1-goal games.
It definitely is, because in a game that's so tight, usually the referees are going to be a little easier on the whistles. There's going to be less space, and every mistake gets magnified when you're trying to compete and win those close hockey games, and we're having one unfold right now.
The goaltender, Henry, will return to the goal for the Broncos for now. He's all the way out at the hash marks, as he is just waiting for the signal to come to the bench and get the extra attacker out for UCO. Kowalchuk gets it off the faceoff but can't clear. Henry stops up but eventually gets to the bench, and the extra man is on for UCO. They have the puck. Durbin fires one through traffic. Moore with the stick save as he pushes it into the corner. Husted giving chase. Broncos the first one after it. Back up to the point, but it's picked off, thrown all the way down the ice, and just wide from Hoffenkamp. He's in a foot race, and he beats out the icing call. Hoffenkamp trying to get the puck back. Mikhailov has it, rims it around on the stick of Joel, and Joel will skate it out of his own end. Joel through the neutral zone, sends it over to Mills. That bouncing puck couldn't be handled, but they're in offsides. At the point, the Sun Devils just trying to get it clear. The Broncos in the slot now. Mills on his backhand, throws one in front, and Moore with a big glove save. Husted, puck in his skates. Just wants to get out of his zone. He's under duress from the Broncos. Gets up to Shaw. Shaw will chip it out. Not far enough for an icing, and the Sun Devils can get a change.
Hoffenkamp with some hungry eyes. Almost was able to convert all the way on that empty net.
1 minute left in this game. Sun Devils trying to hold on for life right now against the Broncos. Mills chips it in the corner. Studioso back, wrists it off the glass. That goes all the way down. Plurd trying to win the battle against Burton. Burton the first one there. Plurd will take him down. There was a goal for Lackey, but Plurd will be assessed a penalty behind the play. A great effort from the defenseman Burton to skate back for UCO, and not only does he break up what would have been a surefire empty net insurance marker, but he manages to open up a 6-on-4 opportunity now for Central Oklahoma.
Where it could have been very dangerous for Oklahoma as Elliot Plurd was racing to that puck. He ends up taking a mistimed hooking call. And now Arizona State most likely with the pulled goaltender for Central Oklahoma, they're going to be having to face 2 extra men on the ice to their 4.
And we've mentioned this before, Brett. Arizona State certainly one for the dramatics. They like to keep it interesting. And this is about as exciting as you could get, as they will be at a 2-man disadvantage with 43 and a half left on the clock. A timeout here by head coach Tate Green for Arizona State. And Brett, what it's really going to come down to here is this first face-off. If the Sun Devils can get a clean victory, it might open up the chance to kill more than half the time left in this game. But if it's the Broncos who do get this face-off victory, then they can set up the play that they want.
One of the only positives you can have with being on the PK is you can still go for that empty net and not have an icing call, but the main thing is going to be that face-off initially. They're having out there, it looks like they're going to stay out there. It looks like Studioso might be one of the guys. Face-off's going to be on the left-hand side. Usually you want to have a left-handed player taking that draw so you can try to win it on his backhand. We'll see what the Sun Devils do.
Kowalchuk and Lanfear, the defensemen, out. Studioso and Lackey, the forwards. Moore, obviously, will be the man in net. He'll have to stand tall, surely, if the Sun Devils want to keep this lead shut and get out of here with a regulation victory. Studioso will line up opposite of Mills. Mills wins it. Back to the point. Durbanyuk, he'll fire a wrister, deflected in front, and they score! Central Oklahoma right off the draw. And 6 seconds later, it's tied up 4-4.
Big goal from Niall Mills. We knew that initial face-off was going to be crucial. Worked like clockwork for UCO, being able to win that draw clean, work it up to the point. And then Mills, once that face-off was done in the circle, made a beeline in front of the goaltender Moore, and was just reading to see where that shot was going to be placed by his defenseman. And he ends up getting a nasty tip on it. Moore had no chance, and the game's tied up at 4.
A big power play goal for the Broncos sees them equalize late in this game. And maybe a little more coming as Mills splits the defense. In all alone, Mills just loses handle of the puck. And Bronson Moore is forced to cover up, as the Broncos would love to take this before we even get to overtime.
Yeah, definitely left a bad taste in their mouth last month when they gave up that lead so early. You have to imagine their team's salivating right now.
Plurd wins it. Slavic goes back to retrieve the puck, can't get it out. At the point, Durbanyuk fire another one in front, deflected, loose in the blue paint. The Sun Devils just managed to clear it, only momentarily. Mills throws it behind the net, 15 seconds on the clock. Hull trying to wrist one in front. Slavic on it, behind his own net. He just wants to kill the clock right now. Miller comes in to help out. Broncos dig it out. Kraus on it, down low. Hull back up to the point. Durbanyuk lacking on it, but with only a second left, we will be going to overtime. And that will be preceded by a 2-minute intermission. And Brett, the Sun Devils, very familiar with the extra session this year, as we've seen it numerous of times, most notably a handful of times against the University of Arizona. The Sun Devils have not been bad in their own right in the overtime session. In fact, you can make the case with all the skill on their team, it's actually a bonus.
Yeah, a lot more room to operate out there and really showcase your skill and put it on display. But Central Oklahoma was saved by the bell near the end. Arizona State had either a breakaway or a possible 2-on-0 opportunity. And fortunately for them, the period ended in time. And now with this being in overtime. Both teams have skill and have speed, so it's more of a toss-up on who really has the advantage when we're going here in overtime.
And it looks like the Sun Devils might be putting out a group of Hoffenkamp, Husted, and Havner. Still plenty of guys on the ice as they sort out their assignments. The ice very choppy, and Brett, we've already noted, even just during the regular run of play, the ice a bit choppy in certain spots. At the end of this game, without getting a fresh cut right now, it'll definitely be extra difficult to stick handle, make clean passes. I'll be excited to see who can take advantage of that. As it is, in fact, Hoffenkamp, Havner, and Husted out for the Sun Devils. Lining up opposite of them for the Broncos, it'll be Mikhailov, Durbanyuk, and Kolbeins. Bronson Moore and Alex Henry have been immense in net for both squads tonight, as they have made numerous game-saving saves from first minute to the final minute of regulation. As we get ready to play some bonus hockey. 3-on-3 overtime about to commence. Husted, he'll win the draw in his skates. He digs it out. He'll skate in the offensive end. Husted will button hook, delays, and just plays it back in the neutral as the Sun Devils want to set this up. 3 forwards on the ice for Arizona State. 2 righties and a lefty. Hoffenkamp, one of the aforementioned righties, brings it in, delays. He has Husted going down low, but feeds it back to Havner in the neutral zone. Havner getting an expanded role with Damon Porter out of the lineup. A little bit of miscommunication for the Sun Devils as they're trying to get out of their zone. The Broncos changing on the fly. Havner will just dig that out and send it back to Husted.
Possession is such a big thing, and this 3-on-3 overtime can really dictate the pace.
Sun Devils turn over behind their own net. A whistle back behind the play. Not sure what the call is quite yet. We'll wait for it. And it will, in fact, be a high sticking call on the Broncos and a power play coming for Arizona State.
Man, something pretty crazy, and often you don't see a penalty in overtime. Now Arizona State could have a 4-on-3 opportunity, possibly able to win this game or at least have a good shot at it.
Head coach Michael Rivera not going to be too happy with that, Brett, as that penalty occurred 200 feet from their own end. Broncos win the draw, but they can't clear. Kowalczyk keeping alive at the point. Mills trying to dig it out. And Mills on the second effort will, in fact, get that puck and throw it all the way down the ice. Husted, Lackey, Studioso, the forwards. Plurd. Kowalczyk, the lone defenseman, out. Lackey delays in the corner, sends it down, lows Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk back up to Lackey as Plurd made a move to the front of the net. Lackey switches it Studioso. Over to Kowalczyk. He pumps on the shot, gives back Studioso. Back to Kowalczyk, he fires, and that blocked in front of the net. Lackey picks it up, goes low to high, back low. Lackey trying to go short side. Henry got the shoulder up, stopped the puck, but the Sun Devils will get the rebound. Kowalczyk gets it back up to Studioso. Studioso trying to find a passing lane, doesn't see one, so he takes it to the middle of the ice, looking for the deflection, just away from Plurd. As he took a hard shot behind the play, goes down, and the Sun Devils will have to restart from the neutral zone. 55 seconds left on the power play, 3 minutes left in the overtime session. Nobody scores, we will go to a shootout. Hosworth with time and space in the offensive end, brings it in. Husted at the point now with the puck. Delane looking for a pass, gets it to Hosworth at the right circle. Hosworth will reverse it. Switch with Plurd, and he'll fire one right into the catching glove of Henry.
Also a big stop by Henry to make the freeze on the puck because that's going to allow his UCO teammates to go for a change. That group of 3 has been out there for the past 2 to 3 minutes, killing a penalty, and now he gets some fresh guys in front of him.
And just like the second period, Brett, the teams have to switch sides, so a very long change really You can't afford to go for it shorthanded. As you mentioned, a big stoppage there for the Broncos. 25 seconds on the clock as Moore tries to dig it out behind his own net. Osworth skates it ahead as the power play dwindles down. Husted across the blue line. Platt goes down low and he gets the puck. Platt back up to Husted. Husted size up a shot, goes into the slot, waits, drops it to Osworth. Back to Husted. Husted almost loses the handle. Goes down low to Havner. Back up to Osworth. He looks for a quick shot. Blocked, but Husted keeps it alive. We're at 4-on-4 hockey right now. Sun Devils changing on the fly. Platt loses the handle on the puck, and the Broncos send it all the way down the ice, and that will be an icing call. 1:57 on the clock. The Broncos a good job killing off that power play. And Brett, an interesting little wrinkle here in overtime. It's an icing call, so you can't get a change, but both teams will have to pull one skater off the ice to get back to 3-on-3 so the Broncos can find their, I guess you could say, most tired penalty killer and get them off the ice.
Yeah, really interesting wrinkle. We've seen a few of those weird, quirky rules show up tonight in this hockey game, and this is another one.
And the Broncos will elect to take another timeout, as you do get an extra set of timeouts in the overtime session. And Brett, is a little funny exchange as they went by the bench. The goaltender, Henry, letting the Sun Devils know as they were making the case for why the Broncos were tired and they shouldn't be taking a timeout. Henry made sure to let him know that's why we're taking the timeout.
Yeah, really interesting logic there being used. I mean, that's why all these players are in college. They are looking for some higher education.
As we all know, the Sun Devils, the leader across the country in terms of innovation, and they will be looking to make an innovative play off of the face-off here in the 3-on-3 situation to try to emerge victorious tonight after UCO got that late equalizer in the third. Plurd loses the draw, but Lackey the first one on the puck. Lackey behind the net, moving his feet, gets to Studioso. He'll fire one, and that's deflected off of the skate of Gage Joel. A massive block in front of the net as Studioso was lining up a heavy shot.
Joel's trying to skate that one off a little bit. And man, he took a ripper right to his left ankle, and that's something that he's going to probably put some ice on after this hockey game.
Plurd to McCabe in the circle. McCabe wins it again. Durbanuk, the first one on it. He'll skate it ahead, sends it across to Joel. Joel still got some speed to him even after blocking that shot, and gets it to Durbanuk. At the point, he walks it in, looking for the deflection. Studioso read it. Lackey trying to skate down the ice, but Durbanuk gets back. Lackey in the neutral zone now, delays, waits. They just tag up on sides. Dropping the puck to Plurd. Plurd in the slot. Waits, doesn't see shooting lane, so he'll skate it out of the zone, back into the neutral, and just keep possession. A minute 15 on the clock. Lackey building up speed now, gets it in on sides. Lackey looking for the shot. Henry with the save, and that gets kicked into the corner. Lackey still on the puck. Taking a hard ride from Burton, takes him down. Husted helping out. Husted gets the puck. Husted making a move to the front of the net. But it's Henry who pokes the puck away from him. Lackey trying to keep it alive. A great individual battle ensuing in the corner between Lackey and Burton. Lackey gets some help from Husted. He'll dish it up high to Plurd. They switch spots, back to Lackey. Wrist one in front of the net, backhander, and Henry had to come out and poke it away to deny the scoring opportunity. Joel makes a spinorama move, loses possession of the puck. Moore will feed it to Plurd, who reverses now to Husted, but the Sun Devils turn over in their own end. 25 seconds on the clock in overtime. The only fresh skater on right now, the captain, Kowalczyk, as he's on the puck. 16 seconds left. One final push maybe for the Sun Devils. Kowalczyk gets his own puck back, but loses the battle. Husted and Plurd still on the ice in their own end. They'll just get into the neutral, and as the Broncos are forced to delay and touch up, maybe one final shot coming. No, it will not, and that means a shootout.
It's been tough for both teams all night. Very physical hockey game. And it makes sense that they couldn't settle it in regulation or in overtime, so we're going to have to settle it in the shootout. And maybe even after that in the parking lot.
Both coaching staffs will look to get the hottest hands they can out here tonight. There'll be a slew of options available to both teams. For the Sun Devils, you've seen Studioso and Havner. They've got their fingerprints all over the score sheet. For the Broncos, 2 goals on the night for Niall Mills, the first and final goals so far, bookending the offense for the Broncos. Wouldn't be surprised to see his name called. Broncos will be shooting first, and it will be number 17, Dominic Colbeans, who takes the first shot. Pardon me, the second shot. The first will come for Arizona State as it's Brendan Studioso. Studioso skating towards the Student Inferno section. Referees consulting with the 2 benches, making sure they get the lineup set. And now that we're all set, it's clear for Studioso. Studioso with the goalie coming way out to challenge him. Delays, goes backhand, and he scores! Brendan Studioso opens the scoring with the first shot in the shootout, and now UCO needs the answer.
Studioso was able to use Henry's aggressiveness to his advantage as he was able to drag the goaltender out, and he fitted in on the far post.
Colbeans with speed, swings out to the left, tries to go forehand, and Moore stayed with him the whole way and makes a big save. The Sun Devils off to an early advantage in the shootout.
Moore's able to stick with Colbeans, didn't fall for any fakes, and just stood his ground.
Now stepping up to the puck, number 19, Clayton Lackey, as he has a chance to really put a stranglehold on this shootout for the Sun Devils. In the offensive zone, he's weaving, forehand, backhand, forehand, and he just loses handle on the puck, as it looked like he deked both himself and the goalie out of that situation.
Yeah, a lot of snow built up right in front of the crease of Henry, and it ended up leading to Lackey fumbling the puck.
Mikhailov, one of the great offensive forces that the Broncos have to offer, will come up now. The lefty delays, fires one, and more. Gets his glove down on top of his pad and seals that shot off. And the Sun Devils now can score here and win it. Elliot Plurd steps up. He'll weave to his right, bring it back into the middle. Pump fake, shoots, and Henry with the save as he looked back. And now it comes down to the aforementioned Niall Mills. 2 goals on the night, looking to add a third via the shootout to continue this contest for his Broncos. Mills picks it up on the backhand, swings way out to his left with speed, goes to the forehand, and Bronson Moore with the save! And the Sun Devils get a big old victory here on a Friday night in Tempe.
Man, a crazy hockey game, back and forth, all 60 minutes and extra. It was an unbelievable display by both teams and a lot of fun to watch.
What a game, Brett, for Arizona State. The adversity was there from the first minute to the final shot of the shootout, but it's the Sun Devils who prevail. Via the shootout, a 5-4 victory against the number 12 ranked Broncos. As we'd like to bring you here into the broadcast booth, following that big victory. Thank you, Alex and We want to wrap this thing up. Brett, it's hard to put a bow on a game like this. Just amazing action all night long. Great analysis in the booth. Great goaltending. I mean, you can start wherever you want. Just give the people something to take home after this.
Yeah, just an amazing game. Both teams have fought through adversity tonight. One had a lead, the other had the lead, but both teams kept working at it, and it was just amazing display of brilliance and of hockey and of teamwork as well.
To steal a point made by our cameraman Alex Searing, there was a lot of compete tonight in front of the net from both teams, a lot of great saves. And, pardon me, I want to ask you now, who's your OxyPal player of the game? I mean, you could pick Henry, the shot column. It was nearly at 50 apiece tonight. There were a lot of block shots in front. I thought Miller, an honorable mention for me, is he had an amazing game on the back end for the Sun Devils, a real bounce back from last night. The forward group, I thought there was a lot from all the lines, but I want to ask you your take on who our OxyPal player of the game is.
I don't know if we've ever had OxyPower players of the game before, but it's got to go to both goaltenders. Bronson Moore ended up winning tonight, and Alex Henry. Both of them faced over 50 shots tonight, and it was just amazing display and athleticism of both goalies. You could almost say like they're hung out to dry, but I don't think so, because even their players played in front of them. It's just both teams were so good and so skilled that they were able to create chances by their own doing. Just amazing display by both goaltenders tonight.
Absolutely sublime goaltending, and that's really why we went all the way to the shootout. This game could have been ended many times, you know, in the second period, the third period. It could have been opened up by either team, but the goaltenders keeping both of their respective teams in it to the very end. And ultimately, it's Brendan Studioso who gets that big goal in the shootout, and Bronson Moore stopping all three shots. Just amazing stuff from the Sun Devils. A really gutsy performance.
Yeah, I think, of course, they wanted to finish that off in regulation. They did end up allowing that tying goal late in that third period, but it's definitely something to draw on. They've played well. They dictated a lot of the play tonight, and against a good UCO team, it has to build a lot of confidence for yourself.
It certainly should, and we'll see if the Sun Devils can keep it rolling tomorrow night when they square off once again against the University of Central Oklahoma Broncos. Puck drop will be at 7 o'clock. My partner Brett and I will both be here once again to bring you that action live on ASU, ACHA Hockey YouTube. And please make sure to tell your friends, bring everyone, make sure you tune in. I'm expecting a great game once again.
Yeah, definitely so. It's going to be an exciting one to bet.
And we thank all of you for tuning in and staying with us tonight through this great affair. Great display of ACHA Men's Division I hockey. But we'd also like to thank a few special people who make this broadcast possible each and every night. Our statistician tonight was Ricky Sams. Our cameraman was the one and only Alex Searing. Our technical director, doing this all the way from the great state of New Jersey, Elena Vaughn. A wonderful job as always. And last but certainly not least, our studio engineer back at Network Central, Justine Elaine Cooper. For my partner, Brett Vaughn, I am Niall Cooper, reminding you of tonight's final score. The Arizona State University Sun Devils 5, the University of Central Oklahoma Broncos 4 in the shootout. We will be back here at Oceanside Ice Arena tomorrow at 7 o'clock for puck drop, and we hope to see you there. Until then, so long from Oceanside Ice Arena.